welcome to Millwood Falcon Football, presented by SSM Health, First Security Bank, Love Student of the Month, and Counseling Solutions and Interventions. Tonight, it's Clash of the Titans, the mighty Millwood Falcons versus the Heritage Hall Chargers. Now, this is the eighth year of this series that began back in 2018 with the Falcons winning the first two games of the series, but now the Hall has ran off 5 straight in this contest and this matchup and lead the series 5-2 overall. Now, the Falcons entered the season 0-1 thus far, losing in the Soul Bowl last Saturday, of course, 22-10. And the Chargers are now 1-1 this season. Last week, they lost to Lincoln Christian 35-6. Now, regardless of the record, these are still two of the best football programs in the state of Oklahoma, led by two of the best coaches. And I fully expect tonight to be a great night of football. Welcome to Falcon Pregame, sponsored by SSM Health and First Security Bank. SSM Health, let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital help get you moving again. Call for an appointment today, 405-2530. That's 405-218-2530 is the number. And First Security Bank has been serving Oklahoma City for over 4 decades and would like to be your community bank. Learn more at FSB OKC for First Security Bank. I am Maurice Prince, and I'll be joined a little bit later on tonight by the Hall of Famer and the host of Real Sports on OKC Sports Radio. That will be the one and only Myron Patton, who will join us a little bit later on. Now, dreams of playing on Saturday begin with playing well on Friday night. And there is always a strong sentiment about something that you can always say about premier matchups in high school football. It can rank with as any good college matchup that you can see lined up. I know the weight of the world, of course, in Oklahoma this weekend is, of course, on Oklahoma State taking on Tulsa tonight. And then tomorrow, of course, what's going on in Norman when it comes to Auburn and Oklahoma getting together. And obviously the storylines feed themselves when you follow that level. But when it comes to high school, premier matchups in high school football, they sometimes only happen in high school playoffs. But in that first 3 games of the year, the games before districts start, you can clearly understand how much excitement pours in when you get a crosstown rivalry, and that's why this is Clash of the Titans. Now, Millwood played last week, of course, against Soul Bowl, losing, of course, ending their 9-game winning streak against the Trojans. And, you know, putting it lightly in this particular case, the Millwood team showed its youth, and it also showed one advantage that was clearly there in favor of the Trojans. They had played 2 games before the Falcons had even stepped on the field. And to be honest with you, in that particular situation, the advantage always was in Douglas's hands in terms of that. Now, that's just an excuse. Everybody can always say, hey, things happen, things play out. But I'll let Coach Franklin address that a little bit later on when you hear him in Falcon Pregame. Now, that is something that we definitely have to talk about when it's all said and done. So that is something that the Falcons need to improve today. There are some things that have to be done, have to execute better, have to get to establishing a high level of play, and that is something the Falcons can certainly do. The field is in great condition, and the game time temperature should be right around 86 degrees, and that heat will hold somewhat until the 4th quarter, but right around 9 o'clock tonight, the temperature should drop into the mid-70s, and the winds are blowing right now at about 7 to 10 miles an hour. The head coach for the Heritage Hall Chargers is Brett Bogert, and the head coach for the Millwood Falcons is, of course, Darwin Franklin. We're going to take an opening timeout. We'll be gone for about 3 minutes, and then we'll come back, and then you will have a chance to hear from Coach Franklin himself, and then also we'll give you the keys to the game and talk a little bit more about this Heritage Hall Charger team. Tonight's game, and of course this contest tonight, is being brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony, Love Student of the Month, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, First Security Bank, Counseling Solutions and Interventions, Narissa Berry Insurance, Bank First, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Guiding Right, OKC Sports Radio 105.3, the Black Chronicle newspaper, Power 103.5, and Super Prep. We'll be right back on the other side of the break. This is Millwood Falcon Football. We'll be right back.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or any other use of the accounts, descriptions, or audiovisual elements of this broadcast without the express written consent of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved.
That's cool. Yeah.
In our exterior broadcast booth, Mr. Myron Patton.
Exterior, that's a big word, man.
It is. I mean,
EXT.
Stop. You know, Myron, thank you so much for joining us. You know, I have been excited about an opportunity. I said we've worked together for a few years now, but I was telling somebody the other day, they said, you calling the game with Myron? I said, yeah, I sure am. And I said, the one interesting point about that is, I said, I really haven't been on the air with you in terms of a broadcast since the crossover right before COVID on OKC Sports Radio.
Yes. Go Cowboys. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not Sunday yet. I'm sorry.
No, don't do that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I gave D a hard time before I left. I think the band's going by.
Do you feel the Millwood band?
I feel it. I hear it and I feel it. I mean, I think I want to get something. Give me some drums. I mean, I got some rhythm. You know, I can go. No, it's good to be here, man. Friday night high school football. You know, I think it's going to be a nice evening. It was warm today, but I think it's going to cool down. It's going to be a good night for some two teams that certainly are used to playing each other.
Certainly. You'd always said something, and I wanted to kind of go back to that before we play Darwin Franklin. You used to say that high school matchups, really good marquee matchups like this particular one, rank as good as some of the other marquee games. I talked, of course, Oklahoma State's against Tulsa this evening. Of course, we know the story of Auburn going against Oklahoma tomorrow, how huge of a game that is. But some games in high school are bigger than others, and in the early part before district really starts, you get to see sometimes some amazing matchups. That's why this one's called the Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, and it kind of lets these teams know where they are going into district play, you know, because both have really good programs that compete for state championships most years and put out some really good individual players every single year. So I know Brett Boger for Heritage Hall and, of course, Darwin Franklin for Millwood. They'll use this game to kind of gauge where they are, especially Millwood, because they've gotten a late start to their season. I mean, last week was their first game of the season. This is their second. And so this is a matchup that I think fans look forward to watch play because it's some classic matchups in the past. But I think also the players, the coaches look forward to it because you'll come out of this knowing where you are, knowing where you need to improve as you get ready for district play that starts next week.
All right, had an opportunity to talk to a very energetic, if I would, Coach Darwin Franklin.
He was?
Yeah, he was very energetic. He had a lot on his mind. We'll just say it that way. So I'm going to play some audio and give you a chance for you to get a reaction to it. This is what happened when I spoke to Darwin Franklin a little bit earlier. Spoke to him actually yesterday evening. Talking with Millwood Falcon head coach Darwin Franklin. Coach, give me your thoughts of the good and possibly some of the bad that you thought about the Soul Bowl game for the Falcons?
Good. Coach Turner got the victory. You know, congratulations. Came in and lived up to that 2-0, 3-0 now. So definitely a situation where we was able to see another good and see some things that we got to get better at personnel-wise. You know, we returned 3 guys on offense and 2 guys on defense, and a whole new special teams crew. And, so it's the blessing because we get these young guys in that, I think we looked at the roster, and between the whole roster, there's 7 guys that's played a varsity snap ever. So their first game was in Soul Bowl, and we hadn't got a chance to really work out any kinks, and none of them excuses. You know, it is what it is. It's the way the schedule was. And, so this week has been great because we've been able to look at film, address some of those mistakes. Bad thing is having the mental breakdowns. You know, we've gone through personnel. We go through who's supposed to be where, and it's just that youth that comes out. It's the same thing I talked to my pops right before the game. I said, you know, it's a good thing to be young, but man, it's a bad thing to be young on a stage like that. You've never played a game Saturday at 1 p.m. You know, it's a heck of a stage to play your first one. But again, congratulations to them. You know, it's for bragging rights, and we got the opportunity to play Heritage Hall and come back and answer some of those, fix some of those mistakes, answer some questions that we got, and the preseason will be over. And the thing we've told the guys all year, you got scrimmages, which is your preseason, and you got the first 3 weeks of the season, which is your preseason, and then you got your season in district when it counts. And you know, we just got to do our one every day, get 1% better each day with each rep. 74 plays, we had 1 guy making a mistake, and that's huge when you're only playing 135 plays a game on average. So, you know, that's a big chunk of people. You know, 10 guys doing what's right and 1 guy doing what's wrong. That's what happens.
Your quarterbacks making their first opportunity to start Denver and Blythe, kind of evaluate what you saw from them in the game, and then how practice has been with those guys, having a chance to actually see and get a better understanding of how things go out there.
Shoot, it was interesting. You know, I think Denver had more reps last year being a senior. He's played defense in many situations. But he's one that hadn't gotten reps like that either, you know. So both of them coming in their first game is Soul Bowl. So I think it's been a better week this week. Donnie's really gravitated and grasped a lot more. Denver's been trying to pick up things as he goes. Got a little banged up there, but he's back and ready to go. And the biggest thing is just getting ready for next week.
As you approach Heritage Hall, they're always a well-coached team. I don't have to sit here and try to ask you about Brett Bogert and his program, but they always present interesting challenges. What excites you about the matchup that they always make you try to get ready for the game? What are some things about that?
Their intensity and physical play. They run a 3-3 stack, and the way that they run it is they're always sending somebody. And is not predicated off sometimes it's predicated off of personnel, sometimes it's predicated off of field, where they are on the field. They got great special teams. They got number 3's a speedster, you know, so we got to make sure that we know where he is at all times. But then they were just, like you said, they're just well-disciplined ball club, just a very well-coached, well-disciplined ball club. They're going to do what they do. They're not going to get out of character and do something against the grain of what they usually do. Real smart kids. Sometimes you sit there and look at them on film and you think, do y'all even go to school? How can y'all get all this in 2.5 hours? But they do a lot of good stuff, and they always have. So don't let the Lincoln Christian score fool you and think that that's just you know, that something's wrong, because it's not. That's just there still is a really good ball club, and we got to come and play.
Every opportunity for you is when you look at your team, you always evaluate them about doing some things better. So at the end of the Heritage Hall game, I could ask you if you'd like to win, you'd say certainly. But at the end of the game, what are some things you'd like to know more about your team as you get ready for districts right after this game?
Heart. You know, one thing that was bad was body language at the end of the game, you know, at the end of the Soul Bowl game. It might not go the way you want it to go, but it doesn't affect and change how we are trying to raise young men into being men. And that was the biggest thing, that the biggest takeaway. When the game was over, we go and sing the school song. That doesn't change that. We hold our head up high. We do what men do, you know, and it didn't go your way, okay? You pick your head up. You wake up the next morning, you get after it, you get ready to get better. So that's what I want to see, is how do we handle adversity and bad things that happen in the game? Do we drop our head? Do we bounce back? Do we fly back to the ball? Do we get lined up again, have a short mentality, forget about that play and move to the next one? That's something they've done. The guys have done a lot of talking to each other this week and saying, hey man, you got to have a short-term memory and let it go. Even some of our captains and leaders, you know, they're getting into it and saying, hey man, you know, just knowing that, hey, leadership isn't always in your face. Sometimes leadership is saying a positive, encouraging word to one and maybe jumping in somebody else's mix and having a conversation with somebody else, or writing a note, learning your guys. And that's especially some of those seniors and those old heads, they're used to that barking because that's how all of last year was. Well, you really set these guys up for failure because you're the one that have this expectation on what you expect, not necessarily what they can provide. You got to meet them where they are in their leadership. So those are some of those things that I'm just eager to see, if the off-the-field stuff, the conversations we've had in the cafeteria or getting picked up from practice, if those things are carrying over to the field and how they handle adverse and intense situations. The better that they handle it, the easier they handle it, the better it'll be going down the line.
Those were the words of Coach Darwin Franklin. I'll get Myron's reaction to what he said in just a minute. We'll be right back in just a minute. You are in Millwood Falcon pregame, sponsored by SSM Health and First Security Bank. We'll be right back.
Yeah, is there any way to brighten that up? Ironically, it kind of brightened up when you walk past it?
That's one way to do it. No, there's not an immediate way to do it within the scope of this monitor. If you buy a different monitor, you have the ability.
Oh, okay. So there's no way to brighten it up. Okay, that's fine.
If you could brighten, you can brighten up.
It's not a big deal that it's the sun.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Falcon Pregame. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton here, the Hall of Famer. Myron, I know we had to go to break kind of right after Darwin Franklin made his comments. Was there anything that stood out to you in regards to his comments?
Quite a bit of, he was a talking mood, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said I normally would try to edit that. I said, but it was too juicy. None of that was not worthy of air.
I thought you said, Coach, I got to go. I mean, you got to get No, I tell you what stood out. You know, he talked about the youth and first game, and basically you may tell guys, you may coach guys, but then they get out there at the moment on a big Saturday afternoon game, and they kind of forget what their assignments are. The thing that jumped out to me, I know they watched Douglas against Star Spencer the week before, at least got the film, tape, whatever, got reports on that game. And I know they said, there's Ziegler, number 4 for Douglas. Every time he gets outside, man, he's dangerous. And so I know they were saying, that end, you got to contain, you got to push him back, make him run back inside where the traffic is. And they didn't do that. He had a big game against Millwood. I mean, he got outside just like he did against Star Spencer, made a lot of big plays. He's got the ability to make you miss. And that's one thing that stood out when he talked about, you go through things, but you got a young group of guys. It's one thing to talk about it, prepare for it, but then going out to do it on the game is a little bit different, and that being their first game. So that stood out to me that he talked about that. But also just the fact that, there's a learning curve that these guys have to go through that, when you're young and you haven't played before, there's nothing that beats experience or whatever. So that's one thing that stood out, because that's what I didn't know if Douglas was going to be able to do what they did against Star and Northwest Class and before that, is get outside and make plays, and that really was the key to the game. Ziegler had a huge game for Douglas, bouncing things outside. But it sounds like he's confident that they've got the talent to do what they want to do, which is what they always do, compete for district and state championships, things like that.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because there was one thing in getting prepared for the season. I looked at it, but I kind of overlooked it until Soul Bowl Saturday, and that is this. Millwood had 32 upperclassmen last year, 25 seniors and 8 juniors last year. Now this team now goes to 9 seniors and 10 juniors. That is 19 upperclassmen. So then 59% of your leadership is gone from last year, Myron. And the more interesting about that is, during the interview when he said only 7 players had varsity snaps.
Yeah.
That was kind of shocking to me. And I said to myself that's how, every program is blessed to always have an onslaught of a large class, whether it's juniors, seniors, whatever it is, but you can continue to funnel them through. And I said last year, graduating 25 of them, that says a lot about where your program, what your program has to have the challenges of. With that being said, when I said to you he had a lot of energy, Myron, he was excited. He says, this is a brand new slate. This is a brand new beginning, a brand new opportunity, and he was simply excited about it.
Well, I think as you're a coach, one thing you like doing, you like to coach. You like to teach. It's just another, football, basketball coaches, it's just another form of teaching like that you do in the classroom, whether it's math, science, or whatever. And what he sees is a young group of guys that are talented, but you got to mold them, you got to teach them, you got to show them how to practice, you got to show them how to retain what they do in practice, take it to game day. And all those upperclassmen who kind of been there, done that, you can take for granted, fans can, that what they do. Well, coaches don't. And, I mean, you got a freshman quarterback who's going to get some playing time tonight, Donnie Bly, talked to his granddad here before I walked in. I went to school with Don, his granddad. He ran track when I was at Oklahoma. And so it seems like Millwood always come with this freshman. They've always got a freshman who's playing like he's playing up or whatever. So I just think Coach Franklin is excited because he sees some talent, though it be young, that he gets to mold and teach. And by the end of the season, he thinks they'll be pretty good.
I agree with you on that, Myron. We're going to take our final break of pregame, then we'll come back and get Myron's keys to the game tonight for the Falcons this evening, and it'll be time for kickoff in just a minute. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony, First Security Bank, Love Student of the Month, and Counseling Solutions and Interventions. We'll be right back. Yes, and we're back at Charger Stadium. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton getting ready to bring you the Clash of the Titans, the mighty Millwood Falcons taking on the Heritage Hall Chargers. Myron, if you had to have some keys to the game based on, what you would like to see tonight for the Falcons to come out with a win, what would those three things be?
Well, last week they got off to a good start against Douglas, but then some penalties, some miscues, the offense kind of stalled. So sustained drives, and Anthony Keys got off to a good start for them, and the offense kind of went away after the first quarter. So that'd be one. Obviously on defense, in terms of when you have a chance to get off the field, do it. Heritage Hall seems like they've always got guys that can really finish drives, big time players. So when you get off the field when you got them in third and long, and then back to Millwood. How about a couple turnovers, takeaways on defense? You're at their place. You lost a tough game last week. Nothing like some takeaways to kind of get you enthused and kind of make you realize that this game is yours for the taking.
So sustaining drives, winning third downs, whether you're converting them on offense or stopping them on defense. And then Myron finally said one of my favorite ones, which is takeaways, not giveaways.
Yeah.
When you go to the restaurant, it's not, you want them to give you some food, but it's about what they're going to say about what they're going to let you take home.
Yeah, don't be giving nothing away. Takeaway, man. Come on, man.
That's exactly where we are.
Leave more than you came with. How about that?
Yes, we want to make sure we thank all our sponsors for tonight's contest. So that is, of course, SSM Health, Love Student of the Month, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, First Security Bank, Community Counseling Solutions and Interventions, Narissa Berry Insurance, Bank First, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Guiding Right, the Black Chronicle Newspaper, Super Prep, Power 103.5, and OKC Sports Radio 105.3. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football. And we are set to get ready to kick off here as the teams have taken the field. The Chargers are wearing, of course, their dark blue jerseys with, of course, gold numbers and, of course, the golden Charger emblem on the helmet tonight, where the Millwood Falcons have come in tonight wearing their white jerseys, gray pants with blue numbers and white helmets with the Crescent M on the side, and we're ready to get some football started for you this evening. So, Myron, you know, it was kind of crazy. You kind of, I know you have all the experience from your TV days over the course of time, where you also aspired sometime as a weather person. You predicted it pretty well. You said it was going to cool off really quick tonight. For the exception of your drinking beverage container that you have, I could sit here and do this game with you and be excited about it.
Well, first off, you make it like I've got like a six-pack over here or something.
No, you don't. No, I'm not gonna disrespect you like that.
You know, I think it matches my shirt.
Okay.
Does it not?
Yeah.
I want to be coordinated.
Yes, it does.
And matter of fact, it matches your shirt.
Yes, but it's
nice shade of blue, dark blue. Some would say cowboy blue.
No.
Cowboy.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Just because, you know, this weekend my team is still looking for a win. At least your team has found one. So
it's like I told D before I left. I said, you know what? There's nothing like anticipation.
Is that what it is?
Anticipation is often better than actually achieving it. You wait and you wait and you wait, and the anticipation.
And your group of fans for your professional team have been doing that for years, so they will continue to wait.
What I'm telling you, you should wait till next Sunday to get a win. Not this Sunday, next Sunday.
So anticipate the win after 0-3 start.
Yeah, because you avoid 0-4, you're going to feel so much better. I mean, the joy is going to come over you. You're going to feel like you're reborn and everything. I mean, so I suggest you lose Sunday against Dallas. I only think of you.
I can tell. And it's really hurting me as it stands right now. Nice crowd coming out this evening. You know, folks are here to watch some football tonight and going to look forward to some good action going on tonight. And it looks like the Falcons are going to kick this ball away. And it looks like they're going to be kicking the ball from what will be the from the south end zone from our direction here overall. So we're going to be ready to get things going here in just a second here on a beautiful Friday night. Again, it was at the beginning of kickoff sitting there at about 84 degrees. It was supposed to be in the mid-70s by the fourth quarter. With the sun going down like it is, it looks like we might get there a lot quicker on this evening. And a nice crowd for a Friday night game, as I said before.
Gorgeous weather.
So we're set to get it off. Coach Franklin has got his keys into his guys right now, and Denver Young is going to kick this ball away for the Falcons.
Denver Young, one of the quarterbacks we'll see tonight. I assume we'll see both tonight. Denver Young and Donnie Bly.
And we'll get our first look at the Heritage Hall offense tonight. You know, it's interesting. Heritage Hall lost in the semifinals to Lincoln Christian last year. And then, Myron, they got beat again by Lincoln Christian last week. So they have their new albatross, because if I know Brett Bogert, his team wants to go and see them a third time in a third matchup and see how things pan out. But one thing Brett Bogert's teams do is no matter where they start, somehow Heritage always finds itself in the playoffs. And the same could be said about Millwood. Coach Darwin Franklin has been masterful in this playoff run. They haven't had the last game of the season come out in their favor, but just continuing to get there, you know, year after year, and being a program that's recognized as a power in the state of Oklahoma, to me, is a tremendous accomplishment to him, the school, and the staff and the community that surrounds Millwood High School.
You got to be in it to win it, man, and that's what you want as a program. You want to be in the mix every single year. They've certainly won their fair share, but sometimes the other team's going to be a little bit better. But like I say, the fact that you're in the mix virtually every year, going deep in the playoffs, that's what you want out of your program.
Were we waiting on the chain game, Myron? It seems to me that might have been the case here, as the sun decides to peek out one more time this evening. But Denver Young's going to kick the ball off from the 40. Back to receive the ball deep for Heritage Hall is Klein Reuter, and also the speedster Gerard Williams that Coach Franklin alluded to earlier. Kickoff is away, and it's going to take a bounce, and it stays in bounce, and it's picked up at the 9-yard line, return to the 15, and he's going to finally be brought down just shy of the 20-yard line.
I'm not sure he meant to do that, but that was a great kickoff. I mean, it was like right on the out-of-bounds line and really forced the return to start deep in on territory, although we do have yellow on the field. So are they trying to say it did go out of bounds?
Well, did the receiver go out of bounds for touching the ball before coming back in and did not establish himself? If you step out of bounds, can you be the first one to get the ball? Because the ball did not bounce out of bounds. They would have blown the ball dead.
Well,
and so Coach Franklin's being asked something right now.
Well, generally, you got to reestablish yourself in bounds with both feet.
So we'll see here what that situation here is now. It looks like, and so it is illegal touching. That is exactly what the penalty is.
Yeah.
So that or illegal participation, whichever term that you that you prefer. That's going to move the ball back inside the 10-yard line. It's going to put it there at the 6. So 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line. Set to go here, first action of the night. Ball snapped. Jet sweep coming around the corner to Williams. Williams is going to get cut out of bounds right there at about the 14 or 15-yard line, so a gain of almost 9 on the play.
Gerard Williams there, like I said, jet sweep and gets him a little bit better field position. Picked up about 9.
Pickup of 9 as he takes it to the 15-yard line, and we're set to go. Back to live action here. Ball snap. This time going to hand it up the middle. The Falcons coming through with a blitz. Clog up the lane right there. Nothing doing right there. So after a 2nd down and 1, the Falcons hold their position that time. 3rd down and 1. So one of Myron's keys to the game automatically come to a factor as we're back in the hurry-up. Spread formation, 3 receivers, twins right, pistol formation right now. Ball is snapped. Going to hand the ball right up the middle, and the Falcons try to clog the lane, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down as the ball is out to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I thought they might get a tackle for loss, but he was able to get through a hole and convert for 1st down.
4 receivers now. Quarterback there, of course, is Tegan Lawson in the backfield. Lawson's going to put his first pass up, screen pass, and the Falcons read it beautifully. Great open field tackle that time by number 26 for the Falcons. Great open field tackle. That one was done by, that was Larry Grizzard on that play.
Yeah, they smoked that one out. Kind of a little screen they were trying to set up. Millwood, good defense there.
So they're going to give him a gain of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 9, and they're going to try and get to the outside again this time, and the Falcon defense cut down the runner that time. That was Walker Weddle trying to make the play that time.
So here's going to set up a 3rd and about 10-yard line. 10 yards to go for 1st. Can they hold here and get good field position?
So a loss of 1 on the play. So now 3rd down and 10. 3 receivers now. Twins to the right. Spread pistol formation. Lawson looks. They're going to set up a screen pass right in the middle of the field. And this time, what a great tackle in the open field by Cade Miller. Not Cade Miller, I'm sorry. Great open field tackle by Donovan Rice on the play.
Yeah, this, again, is almost like that the play they ran on 1st down, just a little screen. They're trying to lure the defensive line in, but Millwood, again, waiting on that. So this is what you want. You had them 3rd and long. You get off the field. You should have good field position here for your first chance to touch the football.
So loss of almost 6 yards on the play. So 4th down and 16. Back to receive the ball deep for the Falcons is Carter Ray. High snap, able to get it. Nice end over end kick. It's going to take a bounce on the Charger side of the field, and then looks like it's going to be rolled and marked down at the 47-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons from that spot. So
that's a good start for them. That's a good start. You pinned them deep. Now you've got good field position. Let's see what you can do with this football. You're almost in that territory.
So 1st and 10 from that spot. So the starting quarterback tonight, of course, for the Falcons is Donnie Bly, the freshman. Falcons come out with spread formation. Anthony Keys in the backfield. 19 seconds on the play clock, 9:33 to go in the contest. 0-0 is the score. 3 receivers now. Twins left. Shotgun formation and Anthony Keys deep. Ball snapped, and the ball is loose and low on the ground, and this time Donnie Bly was not able to get the ball to Anthony Keys and the quarterback to center exchange, and it's going to be a fumble on the play, and it will be a Charger football.
Just didn't look it into his hands. He lost it. Thought he might be able to pick it back up. Instead, could not control it. And Heritage Hall, now they got great field position.
So it's a fumble, and it's going to be recovered at the 48-yard line of Millwood. So 1st and 10 from that spot. And it's time for the Chargers' second possession of the night. Lawson rolls right, swings it. Short pass into the middle of the field, cutting back. He's got a crease. He's at the 40, 35. He's at the 30. Turns the corner at the 20. He's still tiptoeing down the sideline. And they're going to say he gets into the end zone, and it will be a Charger touchdown on the play.
Well, that's a big-time run. He catches it on one side of the field, the right side, and then works his way all the way to the left, avoiding tacklers, showing off his speed and ability to cut. Stayed in bounds up that left sideline, and 6-0 Heritage Hall on top.
43-yard touchdown pass on that play into the end zone, Myron, and it was set up. Heritage Hall's been using the short game trying to create space, but you caught that wide receiver screen, cutting it back across the formation, as you said, and did a great job, and then had the speed when he got to the outside to burst and stay in bounds and avoid defenders all the way into the end zone. Now go ahead.
No, I say he's just a junior, man. He's a good-looking prospect, 6'3", 6 foot, 164.
And before things get started here, looks like we might have a offsides here, or they're going to decline it. Or they're going to go ahead and put the offense back on the field.
Offsides against the Falcons.
They're going to go for 2.
Retry.
So that's going to move the ball half the distance to the goal.
So some early mistakes right here, costing Millwood.
Yeah, you can't make the penalty. You can't make the situation worse. It was a tough spot for them, so they're going to go for 2. Lawson under center this time. We've got 3 receivers, 1 back deep in the backfield. Lawson, handoff. They're trying to turn the corner and into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So the 2-point conversion is good. So 9:18 to go in the first quarter, and the score is 8-0. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health at St. Anthony. Love Student of the Month, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, and First Security Bank. Welcome back to Charger Stadium, where the first possession of the Falcons and the first play of the Falcons ends up in a difficult situation for Donnie Bly. A fumble on the play, Myron, on the quarterback to running back exchange. Heritage Hall covers, and then on the ensuing play, one play, wide receiver screen to the house. One of the things young teams have got to do is you've got to stay locked in no matter how the momentum swings go. And to me, the plays that the Falcon defense had made on the opening series indicate to me that they were up on their toes, were extremely focused. But then that quick change, you weren't quite ready, and you missed that one moment, and that allowed Heritage Hall to get that play that they wanted to score on, and they did it.
Yeah, you kind of hang your head a little bit because you had good field position in the first play. You fumble, they get it, and you're thinking about a missed opportunity. You're not really locked in on your assignment. I give Gerard Johnson a lot of credit. He's a really good athlete. Gerard Williams, excuse me. Give him a lot of credit. He's a playmaker, and I can tell already they're going to look to get him the ball tonight a lot because he's got the size and the speed to make good things happen for Heritage Hall.
All right, so now we're waiting for the kickoff here by Bo Butler. He kicks it off, and it's going to be caught by the Falcons. Kevon Shields inside the 5-yard line. They're and he cuts it back. And I think he gets it out from the 5, out above the 10 to about the 13-yard line.
And that's one of those cases you may have probably been better letting that just go in the end zone.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself that because you're trying so hard to make a play. Not great things happen all the time. And, again, that's one of those situations that you get from young players sometimes. They've got to understand, the circumstance about it and, didn't probably get what they wanted on that one. So here we go. Second possession of the night. So we're going to get a chance to look at Donnie Blythe this time. I guarantee you one of the things this young talented guy will do is rebound. So going to work, Falcons now have, looks like we've got 2 receiver, twins right, an up back, a single back formation. Bly rolls, going to swing it out, and the catch is made for a short gain out to number 11, Marquise Vick.
Yeah, just a little swing pass, trying to get him as easy completion, see if you can kind of get him going, break the ice a little bit.
So gain of 1 on the play out to the 14-yard line, second down and 9. 8-0 is the score, 8:42 to go in the first quarter of tonight's game. They're resetting the play clock here for the Falcons. Ball's been originally placed, and we're now set. Clock is going here. Correction, they started at the 25 seconds mark now. Falcons come set. 2 receivers split. Pistol formation. Ball is snapped. Bly's going to put it up. Swings it. Pass. Ricochets off the chest of Anthony Keys, but they're acting like it's a live ball. Looked like a forward pass.
I think we just had a –
Okay,
now they blow the whistle. Yeah, they did let that go like it was an incomplete pass.
So I was sitting there to myself going, wait, now hold on now, because it looked like it was incomplete. Intended for Anthony Keys. So third down and 9. So 3rd and 9 for the Falcons right now. Deep in their own territory. In this situation here, we haven't seen a true running play yet to Anthony Keys. I think it'll be interesting to see what Coach Franklin and his staff decide to do in this situation here, Myron. Because to me, you want to kind of play it safe and try to get things going. So here we go. 4 receivers this time. Spread formation. Hip pocket to his right is Anthony Keys for Donnie Bly. Inside slot receiver comes in motion. Sets up trips on the near side. Ball snap. Bly looks left. Fires across the formation, and the pass will be caught. Good throw and catch as the pass from Donnie Bly's pass is complete to Carter Ray out to the 20-yard line. So looks like a gain of 6 on the play, so 4th down and 3. So Denver Young is set to go ahead and kick this ball away this time, Myron. And standing back right there at the Charger 48 is Gerard Williams.
Could use a really good punt with no coverage if you're Millwood, with no return rather for Millwood.
High end over end kick, going to be fielded right there at the 45-yard line. And nice open field tackle, great open field tackle by Larry Gazzard. Great open field tackle, and the returner on that play was not Gerard Williams, that was Terrence Johnson. But he caught the ball at his own, at 45-yard line and return it up to the Falcon 48-yard line. So 1st and 10 from that spot, and here comes the Chargers. Of course, Tegan Lawson, the sophomore. And we have a bunch, 4 receivers, but a bunch formation right next to the tackle. And before things get started here, the Falcons were showing blitz, and they're going to call encroachment against the Falcons.
Yeah, on that left side over there. Faking blitz, but he faked too good.
So that's going to take the ball down to the 43-yard line. So it's a penalty of 5 yards, of course. So what will be this time second down and 1st down and 5, I should correct myself. Bunch formation right on the left tackle, but 4 receivers on the left side of the field. And this time with a convoy in front of him, cutting back, one of the most successful runs of the night for Barrett Travis as he takes the ball down inside the 40-yard line. And it looks like it will be a first down at the 38-yard line. So a nice run there for a first down for Heritage Hall. Now back to work. Falcons need a stop. 7:09 to go. Again, bunch formation right off to the left side with 4 receivers total on the left side of the line. Ball is snapped. Going to hand the ball again, trying to get to the outside. He gets the edge this time, but a nice open field tackle again by Anthony Keys.
Yeah, it was nice. Looked like that might go further. Nice bounce back outside, and but Keys came over like he knew what he was doing. He did. Good one-on-one tackle.
Taking the ball down to the 35-yard line, so gain of 3, second down and 7. 6:36 to go before the end of the first quarter. 8-0 is the score. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton bringing you Millwood Falcon football on a beautiful Friday night in September. 3 receivers this time. Twins to the right. Single back hip pocket. Lawson rolls to the right side. He's going to throw back for the screen. Has a convoy in front of him. He cuts back against the 30 and is going to be knocked down short of the 25-yard line. Gain of 3 or 4 yards on the play. So that's going to take the ball down to, so it's going to be a 1st and 10 Heritage Hall now at the 27-yard line. So Myron, more like 5-6 is when I said 3 or 4. So 1st and 10 in that spot.
Yeah.
So going to work, 5:58 to go. 4 receivers now. Trips right, single back formation. Lawson and shotgun. 12 seconds on the play clock. He gets it. He rolls right again. And this time fires to the outside, and the pass is incomplete, but there is some laundry in the backfield.
I think there was a hole by Heritage Hall. They grabbed a rusher coming through.
Yeah, he got his hand on Marquise Vick. So it is. Myron is a savant when it comes to identifying penalties.
Hey, I know how to cheat, man. I mean, you got to know how to, get away with what you can,
Based on it being a spot foul of what it is, they're going to move the ball back to the 30, make that the 37-yard line. So it is a loss of 10. So 1st and 20 from the Falcon 37-yard line. Set to go right now. 8-0 is the score. 3 receivers, twins right. Lawson in shotgun formation. Outside slot receiver comes in motion and trying to set up a jet sweep pass. He's going to throw it, and the lefty's got a guy deep and going to throw it, and that pass is going to be well defended, but there's going to be a flag thrown. Not on the coverage by Carter Ray, but on the defense of Kevon Shields because he didn't turn around and look for the ball.
Yeah, let's see what they
because, again, Kevon Shields face guarded him but didn't look back at the ball and ran through the receiver. But the defense by Carter Ray was outstanding to come over there on that.
Yeah, he came over, ran a long way to bat that ball away because the interference or whatever didn't need it.
So that penalty is going to move the ball. Move the ball down to the 22-yard line, but it will not automatically give the Falcons a first down. So, give the Chargers a first down. So Lawson's pass is then complete to Boston Fuller. So Marcellus Grant Johnson in on the stop is going to make a first down for the Chargers at the 13-yard line. And they are matriculating the ball down the field now, Myron. They've got the Falcons kind of in a zone, kind of a little bit of guessing right now.
Yeah, they've gone deep in the playbook with several different play calls on this drive alone.
So going to work, jet sweep to the other direction this time. Cutting back, and several Falcons turned the corner on that one as they handed the ball off to Walker Weddle that time. He might have lost a yard or gained 2 on the play.
There's good pursuit by the interior of the defensive line. The end didn't let him get outside, turned it back inside. So if they can, a couple more plays like that, make them kick a field goal, this will be a winning spot for them, but still just second down.
8-0 is the score, 4:37 to go. Single back formation, 3 receivers, twins to the right. Lawson, with 5 seconds on the play clock, is going to hand the ball off, and the Falcon defense has an angle and cut him down for a short gain on the play just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line, a gain of 2 on the play. And again, the Falcons not allowing the Chargers to get to the edge.
Another 2-yard gain, so it's going to be 3rd and 6. Obviously a big down here. If you can keep them here and make them kick a field goal if it gets close, Heritage Hall probably will go for it, even if they don't get the first down.
All right, 4 minutes to go, 3rd and 6. Ball spotted at the 9-yard line. 3:55 to go in the first quarter. We've got bunch formation with 4 receivers. Trips to the right. Lawson's going to pull it down, has a little bit of daylight, and steps into the end zone, or it's going to be close. Are they going to say it is? Didn't see the arms go up.
Yeah, the official closest to it didn't. He never signaled.
So it is a touchdown, right?
It is a touchdown.
Okay. Okay.
They're not too definitive, the officials. Like I said, the one that was closest to the end zone that ran right by him never really did throw up his hands.
Yeah, so a 6-yard touchdown run by Lawson, getting it into the end zone there, or a 9-yard touchdown run. So now the extra point attempt by Bo Butler. It's down, and the extra point is true. And again, I'm not seeing anybody. I guess it's hard to do tonight, Myron. Nobody wants to raise their hands.
Maybe that's what they're talking about. Say, when that ball goes up through the uprights, you're supposed to put those hands up.
Yeah, that might be what's going on here. Tonight's game is being brought to you by SSM Health, Love Student of the Month, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, First Security Bank, Counseling Solutions and Interventions, Narissa Berry Insurance, Bank First, Big O's Pork and Dreams, and Guiding Right and Super Prep. So early in this game, it is 15-0, and the momentum right now has to be, right now is on the Charger side of the field right now, Myron. Once the turnover happened, it's kind of like the Falcons have not kind of gotten over that. And the next possession, they started it deep in their own end, weren't able to matriculate a first down or get a first down in the drive. So they've got to find a way to get that lady that everybody always likes to talk about, momentum, back on their side.
Yeah, this next drive, they need to, even if they don't score, just maintain the football for a while. Keep it for a while. Have some success. Get a first down or two. Because if they just give it right back to Heritage Hall, they're cooking right now, even with their play calling and everything else. They've kind of got Millwood's defense a little bit uneasy on the run. And Brett Boger's a really good play caller over there on that side of the field. He's running right, throwing back left. They've had a Gerard Williams score on a touchdown. Then they had Gerard Williams throw to the end zone. And we're just in the first quarter.
Right, 15-0. Go back to last week's game that you had a chance to see them play. How did that game start off in terms of Soul Bowl? The energy in the place was obviously a little bit different. You could have the jitters. It's a 1 o'clock kick. How did that translate to how this game started this week?
Well, Millwood started really fast. They were moving the football on their very first drive. They got the opening kickoff and looked like they were going to have a pretty good day offensively, but did not sustain it and didn't get any points out of it. And from that point on, it was kind of a game, and obviously know what happened. So
short onside kick and nice coverage by the Falcons. They were ready for it. Keontae Grizzard, the sophomore, he made the play as they tried to squib kick it and really test the chin of the Falcons to see if they were focused. Yeah. The Falcons were ready for that play as Darwin Franklin meets his special teams, which was a great play there. Again, Bogert trying to get a little edge. The Falcons counter it.
Their play calling has been very aggressive, here in the first half. Kind of going to not necessarily trick plays, but just kind of spreading out the Millwood defense and some motion and some throwing back to the other side of the field. That's another example, but Millwood was ready. Now they've got great field position.
They do. So the ball will be spotted at their own 46-yard line, and we are set to go. Ball handed off this time up the middle for a short gain. Looks like a gain of 3 that time by Anthony Keys on that play.
Yeah, and Keys got some speed, playmaking ability. some make you miss. Plus he's he got big, strong thighs. He can run over you and things. So he's a nice back. They need some plays out of him and some other guys. Like, just maintain this football. Get some first downs. You got great field position. See if you can get some points, obviously.
Right. You're going back to work now. So the ball was at the 45-yard line. And here we go. Ball this time to Keys, and nothing doing there, as there was a whole host of Chargers in the backfield, including looks like the sophomore Andrick Golden in the play. A correction on that. That was David Griffin in on the play. So
Millwood's got some young offensive linemen up there. That was something that was a factor last week as well against Douglas.
So change of possession, ball, of course, at the 45-yard line. Short rush on the play initially by Anthony Keys. Gets a gain of 3 by Anthony Keys that time.
Where's Carter Ray?
Okay, so that was Carter Ray.
No, I said, where is he? I'm calling for him to make a play.
All right, so going to work right now. Bly going to throw it to the outside and tries to hit Keys, who's tiptoeing down the sideline. Pass incomplete. And that particular time, the young quarterback was looking to make the play downfield, but there was a crease there, Myron, where with his speed in the open field, if he had pulled it down, he had a chance to go ahead and run it there.
Yeah, he tried to hit the Keys up the sideline. It wasn't a bad pass. You know, Keys is, what's he listed? Height-wise, they list him. Well, they don't have his height. He's probably like 5'6", maybe.
Let's make him a little inch taller. Make him 5'7".
Well, if he were 5'8", he might have got that. He got a hand on it, but just wasn't quite, arms weren't quite long enough.
So back to go ahead and kick this ball away goes Denver Young. Kick is away and is going to be bounced and picked up again by Terrence Johnson. And Johnson gets hit hard. Nice open field tackle then by Marcellus Grant Johnson on the play. So incomplete pass on that last drive there by Donnie Bly to end it. So it is going to be a kick by Denver Young that will place the ball, that will allow the Chargers to start off at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. So a return basically of about 4 yards on the play. So nice advance on that and good field position this time for the Chargers, who are already up 15-0, 2:04 to go in the first quarter. Now, if you're the Falcons right now, is there a penalty that we did not see? Yes, there is. There's a penalty way back on the other side of the field. So are we going to re-kick here? Did not see what the call is. Personal foul.
Both sides. Offside. Offsetting, yes.
So offsetting penalties here, so they're going to re-kick the ball. So personal foul assessed against both teams here. So 2:04 to go. So let's see here if Denver Young can get off a little bit bigger of a better punt. One of the things, the winds were gusting right around pregame, about, right around 7 to 10 miles an hour. I've noticed the wind is kind of drift down a little bit. They're blowing, if we're looking at here, they're blowing from an east-west standpoint. So it's a nice little slow breeze, but it's not one that's going to really affect the kick. Denver Young's kick is high, end over end. Is going to take a nice bounce, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. It looks like they're going to blow it dead at the 25. So 1st and 10 Chargers from that spot.
Well, another big drive, big opportunity. If you're Millwood, you're down 14.
Now it's a better kick. It's a 9-yard kick difference, Myron. So now you make them work a little harder. So now let's see if the Falcon defense can get fired up a little bit here. You got to get that energy up and fly around and be focused in on what the job is. So right now the Chargers come out with 4 receivers, spread formation, 2 split, hip pocket to his left in the backfield. 1 running back. Lawson can't find anyone. He's dancing. Has a receiver open on the outside and going up and making the catch and still fighting ahead. What a job by Boston Fuller to go up and high point the ball. He got over the top of Kevon Shields on that one as he drifted up there. That ball was thrown in the air, hung in there a long time. Really, I think if Kevon Shields had turned around, Myron, he probably had a chance to intercept that one.
Yeah, or at least make a play, knock it down. And that's maybe some youth or whatever. But, again, you're talking about another freshman.
So the ball is in. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now. And finding a running back, he's cutting back, and they're going to get knocked down there inside the 30-yard line. There is a flag down, though, Myron.
Benjamin Franklin with a nice one-on-one tackle.
And nice job on the $100 bill, too.
You think he's got a few?
Well, I mean, listen. So waiting for the result of the play. If the run stands, it will take the ball down to the 30-yard line, which would be a gain of 7.
Well, here Charles walking backwards.
But okay, holding is the call. So the spot foul holding will move the ball back to the 40-yard line. So now 1st and 13. 4 receivers, trips to the right. Ball is snapped. Going to swing it out. Back in the hands now of England. England makes a couple of Falcons miss and is going to take the ball inside the 10-yard line. So England takes the ball for a nice play. Another short pass, screen pass to the outside, but there's another flag back in the backfield. It looks like it's in the area of holding the way the Chargers are coming back.
Yeah, they had a couple of receivers over there blocking. They may have had some jerseys in their hands. And that's back-to-back holding charges against Heritage Hall. So give me another 10.
So right now the holding penalty will move the ball back to the 42-yard line. Based upon the spot of the foul, the holding penalty really isn't. It makes it 1st and 15, but in the NFL, we're talking about 1st and 30 at this point. Going to work now. Bunch formation to the left, and this time they're trying to hand it. Dancing up the field this time is the ball carrier. That is Barrett Travis, but he's cut down well by the Falcon defense. Good job by the Falcons there.
Barrett Travis has been a player for them for the last couple of years. Been calling that name a few times.
So we're going to take the ball down to the 39-yard line. So a gain of 3, 2nd down and 12 is where it stands. 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. 15-0 is the score. Chargers on top. 3 receivers now.
You got one-on-one over here on this
Trips
left
to the
side.
right. Going to swing it to the outside, and they swing it outside to Williams. And Williams is going to be cut down as the Falcons read that play well. Leading the charge there was Denver Young, and it looks like Williams' play is going to bring him down what will be at the 41-yard line. Great open field tackle that time by Anthony Keys. So going to be brought down at the 41-yard line there. Tackle, of course, by Anthony Keys. And that will be the end of the first quarter. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you tonight by Love Student of the Month, First Security Bank, SSM Health and Counseling Solutions and Interventions. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Charger Stadium. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton. Myron, kind of your thoughts at the end of the first quarter. To me, you know, the Chargers had a majority of the momentum, a majority of that quarter, but the Falcons hung in there, and so now football is won in quarters and in sessions. So if you can get a stop here and get something going, you can try to get back and make the second quarter your quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this is 3rd and long. 3rd and about
14.
You got to get a stop here and get this ball back and get something going on offense. You're going to make this a game.
3 receivers, twins to the left. Falcons are showing blitz. And Lawson stands in the pocket and fires it, and that pass is well deflected, but they're going to call a flag, and I'm not sure on that one.
No.
Again, to me, that was a bang-bang, but the ball was deflected, and so the contact that was made was after the fact. In other words, to me, it was on the receiver who was there. Now, if you want to say it's defenseless receiver or anything, wave off the flag. So exactly.
There it goes. Yep.
I got it right, Myron.
You
Score
got
me
it right.
one. Score me one.
Put your striped shirt out there, man.
No, I don't have any eligibility left.
You don't. You just got to be willing, man. I know. They're looking for officials. You just got to be willing.
Oh, you mean for the officials? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm talking about the officials.
Okay. All right, Myron. That's okay.
You got it right. So they need your leadership out there.
Okay, but you've been calling all the great holding penalties so far in this game. But right now,
They're going for
Heritage Hall is going to go for it on 4th and 15 now. Going to try and throw it. Lawson's going to try and swing it, and he's going to swing it to the outside and has a receiver wide open in the flats. And he's going to take the ball inside the 20-yard line, and it will be a first down. To convert a 4th down and 15, nobody covered the back out of the backfield, which is Barrett Travis, who leaked out. And Lawson did a good job, the quarterback, on eye discipline, Myron, and nobody saw what he was able to do.
Yeah, and it was just a swing pass. It wasn't like they threw it downfield. He had to run for the majority of those yards. And I mentioned Barrett Travis has been a good player for him in the last couple of years. That's a huge pickup by Heritage Hall. Huge pickup.
So first and 10 from the 20. They're in the red zone now. Going to snap the ball, cutting up the field that time. Ball carrier number 23 with the carry there. Looks like a short gain on the play as he takes the ball inside the 20 down to the 17 maybe. So, yes, ball down to the 17-yard line. So 2nd down and 7 now. 3 receivers, twins to the left. Single back formation for Lawson. Looks over the defense. Ball is snapped. Lawson looks, steps up in the pocket, fires, has a man open in the middle of the field, and he's going to get down close to the end zone, and they're going to score a touchdown for Porter England, who takes it and catches the pass from 17 yards out for the touchdown.
Just over the middle, and he was able to kind of split the safeties and dive for the end zone.
Since the Falcons decided to only rush 3 on the play, Myron, what happened to me there is he sat and everybody was watching the quarterback, and instead of covering, because it was obviously a zone coverage, and he ran to the open spot of the field and scored.
Yeah, he just found the dead spot, so to speak.
And the extra point attempt is good by Bo Butler. And so the extra point attempt is good. We'll take a break. We will be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, First Security Bank, SSM Health and Counseling Solutions and Interventions. And we are back at Charger Stadium right now, where the Heritage Hall Chargers have scored. Starting off the second quarter here, and the Falcons find themselves down 22-0 in this one thus far, Myron. And on this next possession, what you said is most important. It may not even be the most important thing to score, but you've got to get some first downs and try to change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, because they haven't defensively they stopped him on the very first possession of the game, but since then Heritage Hall's kind of been moving up and down the football field. And
It's kind of crazy how that turns out into happening when you start talking about teams where, you know, the difference is one play or one mistake and everything was going your way, and you can find yourself in a game by certain mistakes at any given time. And Heritage Hall found its traction after the turnover and really have just thrust themselves into the lead here. So back to receive the ball deep is Anthony Keys, standing in the middle of the field at about the 6-yard line. Bo kicks it off, and it's a nice end-over-end kick, and it's going to drift into the end zone, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Now, my thought here, as Shields would have looked like he might have thought about it, but if it goes over the top into the end zone, just let that go.
yes. Yeah, that would have been a mistake. Of course, it gets in the end zone, it's automatic, but still.
At least at the high school, if it goes over the line.
Yeah.
College, they let you go back and retrieve it if that's something you wanted to do, but that's just something that you have to look at how it goes. But if it goes over you in the end zone, let it go.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at he was a sophomore, so he made the right call, but just the youth in the team right now I think is a little bit shook up right now, but they've got to find a way offensively just to maintain their hands on the football to eat up some of this clock and get some things going their way. On a 3 and out, which is what they've done,
So
is bad news.
3 receivers now, pistol formation. Hand the ball off to Anthony Keys, and Keys finds a nice crease with a gain of about 3 on the play. So Keys is going to take the ball out to about the 23-yard line. Gain of 3, second down and 7. So they've got to find a way, to me, to get Bly some comfortable position. So to me, I'd like to see him roll out of the pocket a little bit, Myron, here, and see if he can't hit Anthony Keys in the flats. Make it a 3rd down and short situation. The Falcons come out right now with 3 receivers, pistol formation right now. Bly calls the inside slot receiver in motion, and they go with the counter to Anthony Keys, and Keys dances beyond the 25-yard line, still on his feet, and will
At the 26 looks
is
like.
at the 26-yard line, so another gain of 3 on the play.
It's tough sledding. He was had those legs churning, trying to get out of the pack and see if he could get some real room to let his speed show, but Heritage Hall had him bottled up pretty good.
So here we go right now. It is officially 3 receivers now, twins to the right, single back. And before things get started, the officials did not spot it. 6 seconds on the clock. Reset, 5 seconds. Bly's got to get his team set to go. And he just gets the play off, and they're going to hand the ball off to Anthony Keys, and Keys doing work. And Anthony Keys gets a 1st down for the Falcons beyond the 30-yard line. Nice job, and that was just want to by Anthony Keys.
Yeah, he found a little crease on the right side there, but yeah, he was really turning those legs, and they barely got that play off. I mean, the clock was just about hit 0 before Bly took the snap and got to Keys as one of the better playmakers, and that's a 1st down. That's what you need. You need another one to build that confidence in the line up front and see if you can get a drive going here together.
All right, Bly in shotgun formation, 3 receivers, twins to the right. Heritage Hall showing blitz in the B gap. Bly rolls to the right side. Great call. And that time it's going to be caught as he's forced out of bounds. Great catch that time. I think that's Carter Ray with the reception that time. Nice toe tap on the outside. So Carter Ray with the reception catches the ball at the 40-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play, Myron.
Yeah, good 1st down. Now you got 2nd and 3, and there's a lot of, you can open up the playbook right here if you're Darwin Franklin. A lot of things you can call here.
So 2nd down and 3, 8:49 to go in the contest. Falcons have 3 receivers, twins to the left. Falcon offense rounding into form on this drive. Anthony Keys finds the crease again and hammers it close to another Falcon 1st down at about the 44-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play for Anthony Keys. 1st down, Falcons.
So it kind of feeds on each other. You know, you get a little confidence going. You get a little push up front. You get 1st down, one feeds it, one kind of leads to another. And you got a little drive going.
So Carter Ray is getting his information confirmed by Donnie Bly, the quarterback. So 3 receivers, twins right. Carter Ray comes in motion. Looks like they're trying to set up a jet sweep. Carter Ray makes the right decision and cuts upfield to save what would have been a disastrous edge because Heritage Hall was bringing a corner blitz on that side, Myron.
Yeah.
And it was a great counter that time by Carter Ray just on ball skills alone, cutting it upfield for a gain of 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, if he keeps outside, that's going to be at least a 5 to 6 yard loss, if not more. Instead, he picks up maybe 2, almost 3 yards, and sets up second and manageable.
2nd down and 8. Ball is snapped. Anthony Keys has it, dances through the line, going to get cut down after a short gain. Going to take the ball to what will be, it looks like the 48 or the 49-yard line, so it's a gain of 2. So Anthony Keys takes it to the 48-yard line. So 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. So the Falcons make some change at the receiver position. 22-0 is the score. Chargers on top. The Falcons have got to find a way to get things going here. 13 seconds on the play clock. Pistol formation, 3 receivers, twins left. 3 seconds. And they did not get the play off. So
You got a timeout by Millwood.
Millwood did get the timeout.
Coaching staff saw that and said, hey, we can't afford to give 5 yards back. It's already 3rd and about 7.
So it's either, with that is, again, that's another thing with the quarterback, either unsure of the call or unsure of relaying it, because what causes the delay is when the set isn't right. And then you've got to get to that line. To me, it's an important as the timeouts on this field right now, Myron, for us to understand that the advantage for Millwood, the Millwood's going to need to, in the early stages of this season, get to the line with about 15 seconds on the play clock so that they can make sure everything is set with a young quarterback.
Yeah, because they're getting too close every play. The play clock's about to run down. And, you know, especially if the defense is moving around, trying to give you some different looks or whatever.
So tonight's game is being brought to you by SSM Health, Love Student of the Month, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, First Security Bank, Counseling Solutions and Interventions, Narissa Berry Insurance, Bank First, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Guiding Right, and the Black Chronicle newspaper, and Super Prep. 6:58 to go, 22-0 is the score as we're back to live action now. The Falcons are facing a 3rd down and 6. Pistol formation. Carter Ray comes in motion, setting up twins left. He's on the inside slot. Anthony Keys now comes out to the flats, and they're going to fire it. Carter Ray makes the reception right there, and it's going to be close. He catches it at the 45-yard line, and the officials indicate that it is enough for a 1st down, as they will catch the ball at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 at the Charger 46. 6:41 to go. Good drive. Their longest conversion of the night, Myron.
Yeah.
But it was a good one.
Yeah, and quarterback put it right on him. And you know, Carter Ray's one of their playmakers, had a big touchdown last week. Good to see them convert that.
3 receivers, twins to the right side. Tight end comes in motion across the formation. And Anthony Keys is going to be cut down in the backfield. Good open field tackle that time by number 74 for the Chargers, who got in the backfield and disrupted that play. As Keys is going to be dropped for maybe a loss of 2, maybe a loss of 3 on the play. They're going to bring him down at the 49-yard line.
So now you're behind the chains.
2nd down and 13. Try to get half of this back to make it a makeable 3rd down for you. 3 receivers, twins to the right side. Chargers showing blitz. They are running a 4-2-5 back there. A nickel defense, it looks like, or maybe that is a 4-3. Keys comes in motion, pressure. They're going to swing it out. Keys does make the catch, but they're going to say Keys made the catch out of bounds, so 3rd down.
Whatever was called, the coaches on the sideline didn't like it. They were, even before the play was run, they had some headsets being flung.
And I can understand. So 3rd down. So 3rd down and 13 for the Falcons here. And so, you converted a 3rd and 6. So what do you have in your bag tonight, Myron, for a 3rd and 13?
Yeah, if you got something special, this is where you probably use it. This is the best drive of tonight. You need to keep this going.
4 receivers now. Chargers show blitz, drop back and cover. He's going to swing the ball to the outside, and the receiver never saw it. That was intended for Miles Mitchell, the receiver, but he never got his head around to see it. So it's going to be 4th down now. It's going to be interesting to see what Coach Franklin decides to do here.
A tough spot. Going to punt it.
I think you have to make Heritage Hall run it. I mean, you did some good things on the drive. You got a couple of first downs on the drive. You didn't score on it, but you want to make Heritage Hall have to work for it. Now back to receive the ball deep for them again is Terrence Johnson.
Heritage Hall's coming on this too.
Skip off the carpet, and Denver Young gets it away. It's going to take a bounce in the middle field, and Johnson picks it up at the 15-yard line. He's at the 20, and Johnson gets to the 25. He's at the 30, makes a Falcon defender miss. Is going to be brought down at the 32-yard line after picking up the ball at the 14-yard line. So going to advance the ball out to the 32-yard line, and it looks like that's where they will set up shop 1st and 10. So what has been impressive to you overall with the Chargers? Has it been the play calling or just the execution once they got going?
Both. They've had some real good play calling in the first half, and you can tell they got some veteran guys that have played some football as well as some good skill guys. So it's both. They've done a good job tonight.
4 receivers now, trips to the left side. Ball is snapped. Lawson's going to hand it up the middle. And nice closing of the door there at about the 35. Gain of 3 on the play. So Marcus Vick with the stop there. So 2nd down and 7, 4:52 to go, 22-0 is the score. Falcons want to keep them in a 3rd and long situation here, so it's a very important 2nd down here. 4 receivers, trips to the left side. Falcons are showing blitz. Run blitz right up the middle to shooting the gap and getting there. What a great job that time by D'Angelo Robinson. Shooting the gap, coming in on that blitz. He timed it beautifully and disrupted that play.
Yeah, he got right in between the guard and center and was able to attack the ball carrier before he even got to the line of scrimmage. And that sets him up 3rd and long. And if you can get him to punt here, you'll get decent field position if you can get a stop.
So the ball is moved back to the 32-yard line. So 3rd down and 10. They're going to throw the ball to the outside. And great job, great coverage that time by DeMontre Butler, who was with the receiver, made a play on the ball. But honestly, on that particular one, I have to say, have Boston Fuller done like a forward going up for a rebound and boxed him out, he had a chance to make that reception. He tried to catch it with his hand but not use his body as a deflector.
Yeah, he's got some size on this on the corner there, but the corner also could have kind of boxed him out a little bit better, but still, you caused an incompletion there. You got a punt situation here.
Good job by the Falcon defense. Got him out 3 and out. So now Falcons need to get the ball back and see if they can put some points on the board. Snap is away, and Boston kicks it deep into the night sky, and he is caught the ball and will be marked down at the 32-yard line.
I wish he had some room to run there. I know you want to hang on to it, but he had some room to run there to get. You know, if you're a punter, if you can get 10 yards, that's a pretty good return. You get more than that, obviously great, but he had a good 7-8 yard cushion there to at least get that and then maybe more.
And that's something that you really want them to try and take advantage of. There are situations where you have to be comfortable. And so the question you have to ask yourself, was Carter Ray comfortable in that moment?
Well, every time I look at the guy who's involved in the play for Millwood, it says sophomore, freshman. It's a young team, man. Real young team.
Going to work right now.
Carter Ray, sophomore, you know.
2 receivers split, double tight end. Anthony Keys in the backfield next to Donnie Bly. 3 seconds on the play clock. Ball is snapped. They're going to give the ball off to Keys. Keys dances, finds a crease, and I don't know how he made something out of nothing, but somehow, some way, Myron, he gets the ball out to the 36-yard line. What's some fancy footwork there by Anthony Keys?
Man, he's 5'4". He ran under somebody's armpit, man. I mean, that's the only way he got those yards. I mean, he kind of got lost in the crowd there, and then he squirted out on the other end. So, he picked up about 5 yards.
So 3:28 to go, 22-0 is the score. Trying to see if the Falcons can get started here. 13 seconds on the play clock. Everybody's trying to get set. So now Bly is asking Carter Ray to come in motion. They got to move. And timeout's going to be called here because of some confusion again. So not necessarily setting the formation, so Millwood has to call their second timeout of the night. So that leaves them with just one left there, Myron. But it's quite clear that communication, this team is still learning, trying to figure some things out.
Yeah, they are, and that's what Coach Franklin was talking about in your interview before the game. You know, it's one thing in practice, and you and the coaches probably standing right behind you on the field. Well, now, coach is on the sideline. He's yelling. But you got the band playing. You got people in the stands. You got the cute girl you've been wanting to talk to. She's watching, and you're kind of like, okay, when they do this, I'm supposed to do what? Oh, yeah, I'm on the other side.
Right, and that's what we're watching. And it was one of those situations where Donnie Bly, the quarterback, knew it, and then he was trying to get the guys set, except the problem was there wasn't going to be enough time to make that happen. So we're back to live action now. So it looks like we've got the same formation, which is twin receivers to the left, deep shotgun, trying to set up a screen pass, has a receiver open, and he doesn't catch the ball.
Man.
Andre Robinson was wide open and could not hold on to the ball.
And he's still running if he catches it. Now, if he turns the other way, he is. But he had 10 yards before anybody even got close to him after he catches that pass. And a blocker in front.
That was eerily similar to that play where where Heritage Hall nearly scored with Barrett Travis, where he was floating and got caught. He, ran into the flats and then took it to the sideline, and Lawson was able to hit him. That time, Bly put it on the mark. It hit him in the hands. He just wasn't able to bring it in. But tough spot. But like you said, Myron, good things would have happened. He would have had an instant first down, and he could have taken the ball at least into Charger territory. Bly's going to throw it over the middle to Anthony Keys, and Keys is going to be close to another first down. Depends on the spot.
Like he might be sure. Oh, they're going to say he's got it.
So another first down for the Falcons as they convert that third down as Anthony Keys catches it and takes it out to the 42-yard line for a Falcon first down. So 1st and 10 from that spot, 22-0 is the score. Heritage Hall on top of this one. 2:40 to go before the end of the first half. Coming up at halftime will be the SSM Health Love Student of the Month halftime report. We'll go over some stats and numbers and really evaluate the first half. Ball is snapped. Bly's looking, rolling, going to throw it, and threw it in the flats. There was no one quite there. So that's going to stop the clock there. And again, the officials are talking. So I don't know exactly what that conversation is, because it looks like he got it back to the line of scrimmage. So that can't be what it.
Yeah, it's past the line of scrimmage. He just threw it away. And
oh, so there's a flag on the play for an illegal man downfield.
that cost you 5.
5-yard penalty. 1st and 15 for the Falcons.
Yeah. So in that particular case there, we're just going to say that's going to move the ball, and looks like they're going to move the ball back to where is that? That is the Falcon 37-yard line, so a loss back to that spot.
They're going to have to get back to 48.
They got 3 seconds. They're going to have to snap it. They're going to run out of time, and that's going to be a delay of game. And I'm trying to understand. So the clock did not stop after the penalty. They blew it, and so that penalty there.
5-yard penalty.
So delay of game will be this next penalty. It moves it ball back inside the 35 down to the 32. So first down and 20, and now getting some of that back that time. Looks like it's a great run by Anthony Keys, a gain of 10, taking the ball out to Anthony Keys is a little slow getting up. I think he's all right. But he's going to take the ball out to the 42-yard line. Now, did Heritage Hall call that timeout?
Yes, they did, because they're thinking if we can get a stop, we can get the ball back and have chance to put points on the board. Now, it's second and about 11, so this is a makeable first down to pick up. But it tells them they got confidence in their defense.
Yeah, they do. In this particular case, also, you have to look at it from the standpoint as well. Maybe Coach Bogert is a little upset. Anthony Keys has started to pick up steam a little bit. I was going to try and save that to the first half of this game. Anthony Keys so far 10 carries for 29 yards, but when you add all of his totals together, he's got 35 all-purpose. But what's happening here is it's happening on this last possession where you're starting to see the Millwood line get to the second level on their blocks and opening up some doors, and you can see Keys at one point in time possibly breaking one wide open. There's a chance, Myron.
We're going to see
just as if there's a chance this weekend that your Cowboys might lose.
I'm sorry, your mic wasn't open, I don't think. Open your mic, man.
Okay, I'm working on that, Myron. We're back to live action now.
You got a big jug of drink there, man. Are you drinking on the job?
Okay. Well, yes.
Okay.
Hydration is an important thing,
Okay,
especially in the heat.
I didn't mean to tell on you.
No, you're not. You're not. We won't talk about what's on your cup. Throwing across the middle, and Anthony Keys tried to go up. He threw it in traffic, triple coverage. It's going to be intercepted. Keys is down, and there's going to be a flag thrown on the play as the returner is going to be brought down inside the 25 at the 24. But Keys is down. But Keys went up in triple coverage trying to make that catch.
I think there may have been 4 people there. I mean, that was not the pass you want to make. And plus, the guy you're throwing to is one of the shorter guys on the field.
So in a tough spot to put Keys in, and he tried to knock it or get his hands on it. But the interception is made, but the penalty has got to be after the interception here. So we'll have to see where the spot of the foul is. Keys is slow, but he's getting up. He's a football player. So Keys walks off on his power, and the Falcon faithful give him. So it looks like we have a penalty here. And it's going to go against Heritage Hall after the interception.
Personal foul, blindside block against the Chargers.
So it brings that back, blindside block.
So it was an interception. And it was intercepted basically at the Millwood 42. And that is where Heritage Hall will set up shop, first and 10. And going to throw the ball. Lawson has a receiver wide open at the 40. He's at the 35 and has finally bounced out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. A nice throw and catch of about 17 yards on the play there, Myron.
Yeah, they've moved trips to the right, but threw back left. They wanted one-on-one coverage, and they got it. That's a big chunk of yards on first down. They're a minute 52. They're driving to score again before halftime.
So with that being said, and they're going to get him in the backfield and bring him down for a sack. Tremendous job on the play that time. Falcon defense front 4 making a play.
Yeah, they sent a corner blitz, and boy, he big-time tackle there. And, of course, he was joined by a couple teammates there. But Millwood staying aggressive because they could see what they were doing. They were going to just let them be methodically drive down the field. They were probably going to score. Instead, they dropped him for about an 7-8 yard loss.
So the pass play got them inside the 35-yard line, got them down to the 34. And they got a first down, and then immediately after that, on a pass play, get dropped for a sack back at the 41-yard line. It's a stoppage of action right there. So back to the 41. And so the situation is 22-0 is the score, and they're staring down a 2nd down and 17. And if you're the Falcons, the number one job is to get the ball back, Myron, and not give up any more points. That's the main culprit here.
Yeah, you want to stay at 22-0. Minute 40, though, plenty of time for Heritage Hall.
Lawson rolls, pressure coming. Lawson is going to be brought down for another loss on the play. Nice job bringing him down is Marquise Vick. Going to drop him for another loss of 2 all the way back to the 43-yard line. So nice job there by that Falcon defense again. That Falcon front 4 pursuit is finding a way to get back there, Myron, and disrupt Heritage Hall's offense on this possession.
You got 2 more times to stop them because they've shown they'll go for it on 4th down.
3rd down and 19, a minute to go. 4 receivers, trips to the left for Lawson. Lawson drops back in the pocket, looks right, wants to throw it to the outside, and a comeback route. Nice execution as Boston Fuller comes back and makes the catch on the sideline there, right at about the 32-yard line. Make that the 33-yard line, so 4th down, as you said, Myron.
They're going to go for it. It shows, one, confidence in their defense, but I think more than anything, they think their offense is cooking. They don't think Millwood can stop them.
So pass play down to the 34-yard line. Setting up 4th down and what will be about 10 yards to go. And before things get started, with 55 seconds to go, Heritage Hall calls for time. So gauging by that, that is the Chargers' final timeout of the half, Myron. Millwood still has 2 according to the board. But to me, this 4th down is very important in this game here. And to me, you got to watch out for Boston Fuller, and we haven't talked about Gerard Williams in a minute. Those are 2 marquee players I'm watching, as well as Porter England, who's been able to find soft spots in the zone. So to me, I'm bringing pressure and make Lawson have to work a little bit, but I'm trying to find a way to speed up his clock, but we've got to have good coverage on the backside.
Yeah, and that before they called timeout, they had Fuller on the right side, and he was about to get one-on-one coverage. Now they switched formations, and looks like it's going to be Gerard Williams on the right.
So we've got 4 receivers, make that 3 receivers now. Twins to the left. Single back formation. Ball the snap. Lawson steps back in the pocket, looks, fires over the middle of the field, and that pass incomplete. Good coverage on the backside, on the backside of that Falcon defense out there. Turnover on downs, Myron.
Good defense, had a safety over the top, nothing was there.
So the Falcons gave up 15 points in the first quarter. So far, they've only given up 7 right now, but there is a flag in the backfield.
I would think it's got to be against, well, no.
No, it's going against Millwood. So that penalty is roughing the passer. That's a big one there, Myron.
Oh my gosh, that's big is not even a big enough word for it. Gigantic, enormous.
Roughing the passer penalty moves the ball all the way inside the 19-yard line. 1st and 10, Lawson's going to throw it in the flat, has a receiver open, going to be brought down right about the 14-yard line there. And the Heritage Hall has no more timeouts. Pass to stop. Going to throw it to the outside. That catch is made. And then into the end zone go the Chargers, and they score a touchdown. The Chargers had gotten the ball inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line on the prior pass. So down to the 10. And setting up 2nd down and 1, and on the very ensuing next play, they get into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, the penalty killed them there. Kept a drive alive that you'd had them stopped.
And the kick is up, and it is good with 24 seconds on the clock. And that, that's another tough blow to the Falcons. As soon as, you get the fourth down stop that you thought you were going to have there, Myron, you turn around on the other side, and then the mistake is made, and it ends up costing you as the score is now 29-0.
Yeah, it's just big mistakes have really plagued them here in the first half, whether it's the fumble on your first offensive snap of the game, that penalty. And Heritage Hall is a good team.
Yes, they are. And, I mean, this is one of those things. We're watching another growth moment for the team. Now, there's two halves of football. So the Falcons have shown that they have life and can move the ball, but they got to find a way. One thing I was happy to see was Anthony Keys was up, bouncing around, got his helmet on here on the sideline, so it looks like he'll be good. But with 24 seconds, do you kneel it? First of all, you better be watching for the onside kick again by Heritage Hall. One of the things is when I have you down, I come for you. And if not, if you get it, do you just kneel it or do you take a shot? Do you take one shot?
Well, it depends where you get the ball, I guess. But you're going to get the ball after halftime first. These last couple drives, they've had some success moving the football. And they haven't had a big play tonight. They haven't had any chunk plays. That's one thing. You think of Heritage Hall, they've had chunk plays throughout this first half. So even though they put together some nice drives these last couple times, it's kind of like 5, 6, grinding it out, pick up a big third down. They're going to have to find a way to sustain drives, and one way to do that is do what they're doing, but also can you get some big plays to shorten up the field for you.
And the kick is away. Nice deep kick by Bo Butler into the end zone, touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 Falcons as that nice kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 for them, Myron, at this time.
They've got a nice kicking game. Place kicker, punter, everything else. They've got, a lot of high schools struggle with that, but he's been booming these kickoffs.
So ball's at the 20-yard line. So Donnie Bly's back out, and so is Anthony Keys. He's back on the field too. 4 receivers here. To me, you take a shot.
Well, it looks like he is in shotgun, so you're not taking a knee if you're.
So here we go.
There's a play clock. Here you go.
5 seconds. Ball is snapped, and they're going to hand the ball off to Anthony Keys. Anthony Keys makes 1, 2, miss. Keys is still fighting, and Keys is going to, as a flag comes in late, Keys takes the ball out to the 28-yard line, a gain of 8. Anthony Keys pouring it on here in the second quarter. So nice job by Anthony Keys. 2nd down and 8. 15 seconds on the play clock. The officials have stopped it. It's a penalty at the conclusion of the game, at the conclusion of the play. Taking the ball beyond the 40, personal foul penalty against Heritage Hall. Just a personal foul penalty overall. So it's going to move the ball out to the 42-yard line, a 15-yard penalty. So that puts it in striking distance now. And so going to put the ball in the hands of Anthony Keys, who takes it up to near midfield, and that, as the Falcons will call a timeout. Ball's at the 47-yard line. Gain of 5. Anthony Keys again. So Myron, they move the ball up with 3 seconds on the play clock here, on the game clock, to take a shot.
Does he have the arm to get it down there?
Well, we're going to find out. We haven't had a chance to see Bly try to, complete a pass over 10 yards at this point. We're going to have a chance to see it now. And to me, if that's the case, you might run everybody deep and see what you can find in the middle of the field and see if everybody can have a chance and take a shot at it, try and do something positive with it.
Yeah, or unless you're going to run something over the middle.
Yeah, but for sure, this is the last play of the
last play of the game. Yeah, something
of the first half.
A hook and lateral. I don't know. Just
Well, with the team this young, I'm not sure if you think they've had time to get to that type of a play call here yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, does he have the I guess if you figure you can get it to the 10, can somebody make you miss and get in the end zone? But obviously going to have to be a big play here.
Okay, 4 receivers as we're back to live action now. Bly and shotgun, Anthony Keys here. To me, I'm running Anthony Keys out into the flat when this ball is snapped. The free safety's coming up, drops back. Bly pump fakes, fires it over to Carteret, and really did not get the elbow up. So the pass is incomplete, and that will be the end of the first half. So at the end of the first half, the score is 29-0. And Heritage Hall leads. We're going to take our halftime break. We'll be back in a few and break down some numbers for you, evaluate Marvin's keys to the game, and much, much more that's coming up on the SSM Health Loves Student of the Month halftime report. That's coming up next. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football.
Welcome back to OKCPS Fall Sports Media Day. We are excited to be here broadcasting live from the Clara Looper Center in downtown Oklahoma City. And, of course, this whole media day event, it's a 2-night event. This is night number 1. Of course, it's sponsored by Super Prep, SSM Health, Oklahoma City Community College, Just Burgers, and PPBC TV. And, of course, we're broadcasting live on PPBC TV and KIMB FM 105.3. And I'm here with some Douglas Trojans, ladies and gentlemen. They're downtown all the way from the east side, Moses F. Miller Stadium, a historic place. That's hallowed ground. And, of course, we're here with Coach Damon Turner and 2 of his Douglas Trojan football players, Cadis Vick and Devontae McCathern. Gentlemen, welcome to Media Day. We're excited you're here.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
How excited are we about the season? I mean, we're going to get this thing going before too long. You've got a big matchup on Saturday against Capitol Hill. It's the OKCPS Part 1 of the game of the week. How ready are we about the game and the season?
Since summer started, we've been ready. we've been going crazy during the summer. Lifted, preparing.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and do you know a student that would like to win a $10,000 scholarship? Yes, I said $10,000. Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting are giving a graduating senior from a Oklahoma City Metro school the opportunity to win $10,000 by just registering online. Each month during the school year, a Love Student of the Month will be selected for registration, and for winning, they will qualify for Love Student of the Year and a $10,000 scholarship. Oh, you guys, to get it, you got to register at www.kvsp.com, and that is www.kvsp.com. Go get your $10,000.
I'm Jay Swick, and we're here with our final team, and I told them before, we're going to save the best for last, right, guys?
Yeah,
this is the Star Spencer Bobcats here that are joining with us. Coach Harold Smith, along with Charles Jones, who's a linebacker, wide receiver, and Anthony Grace, who's a running back and linebacker. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, glad to have you. We're really excited about your game on Saturday. It's kind of a college football kind of feel on the high school level. You're playing on Saturdays. You're playing at 11 a.m. That's going to be a big one. It's a big game this Saturday. So, Coach, let me start with you. Last time I talked to you was over the summer. You were setting the tone. You were pretty impressed with the work ethic that your guys have. What's the off season been like? Do you feel like training camp has gone the way you wanted it to go? Do you feel like they're prepared and ready to go to battle?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like even though we got a bunch of young guys, we worked extremely hard. They fell in love with the process of becoming great. And so the weight room is something that we take great pride in now. That's something that hasn't been, something great for us in the past, but now that they're seeing their bodies change and seeing that they're getting stronger, and now I feel like they've fallen in love with it. So, yes, I'm pleased. I'm pleased with where we are right now, and I know we're not going to stop working, and that's what makes me even more happy because they seem to keep wanting to work to get better.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry. Only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Oh yeah, that's the sound of a good time. The sizzle, the flavor, the bite you've been waiting for. And you deserve it, because when it comes to burgers, why settle for ordinary? Big taste, big smiles, big moments. All stacked between two buns. And you can only get it at Just Burgers. Just Burgers, nothing else compares.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or any other use of the accounts, descriptions, or audiovisual elements of this broadcast without the express written consent of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved.
Welcome back to the SSM Health and Love's Student of the Month halftime report. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton here. Love's Student of the Month, sponsored of course by Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, would like to celebrate and recognize students who exemplify outstanding characteristics in the classroom and citizenship in our community. Each month a student will be selected as Student of the Month and qualified to win a cash scholarship. Apply your child or student today at www.kvsp.com. Rules and regulations do apply. SSM Health, let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health Bone and Joint Hospital help you get moving again. Call for an appointment today at 405-218-2530. That's 405-218-2530. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton here. You know, looking at the first half statistics, Myron, before we get to those numbers, overall, we saw a Falcon team that is still learning to get traction. We saw a Falcon team that is having difficulty getting over some of their mistakes, and the score reflects that right now what we have. But more than anything else, Myron, when we saw the first half, is we saw flashes of what this team could also be.
Yeah. I mean, that last drive, a good example. You know, you think you got them stopped, because Heritage Hall, I mean, they wanted to get the ball back, thought they could put points up. And you do stop them on fourth down, but you got to roughen the passer that keeps that drive alive. And, of course, they go on to score the touchdown. I mean, it's a team that's got some talent, but as I mentioned earlier, every time I look down to see the classification, it seems to have, say, sophomore, freshman, You know, they've got a lot of youth that just don't have a lot of experience, and experience you really can't get unless you play in actual games. And this is just their second game this season. I mean, they got a late start on the season or whatever. So I'm sure the coaching staff's frustrated. I'm sure the players are frustrated. But despite being down 4 touchdowns, they've got some talent. It's just being developed.
You got to find a way to put those players in a position to go ahead and win, to let things go in a positive way. Looking at the numbers right now in the first half of this game, Myron, as it stands right now, the Heritage Hall Chargers put up 210 yards of total offense in the first half. Millwood only put up 7, and it's indicative when you have the score of 29-0 overall. What are some other statistical numbers that kind of stood out to you overall?
Well, the 14 for Millwood, 14 rushes for 44 yards doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot of that came in the last 2 or 3 drives, and that's still only 3+ yards a carry, so you need to up that. But they did find some success, late in the second quarter when they put those 2 or 3 drives together to find some running room for Anthony Keys. Now they haven't had any big plays though, and that's what they really need if they're going to have a chance to get back in this game, either running or in the passing game, to get back and have a chance to make this a contest or whatever. But that stands out. And then of course the penalty, 6 for 45, and it's not just the number. Again, it's when you get the penalties and what they result in, and they often kept drives going for Heritage Hall. They're good enough on their own. You don't want to help them. I mean, that stands out. 3 of 7 on third down conversions. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, against a team like that, so that stands out as well. But they've just got to do everything they did here in that second quarter. They got to do it better in the third and fourth if they're going to make this a game.
Now, Donnie Bly is getting a lot of experience. We saw some Denver young. Maybe the coaching staff will go over some things and make some decisions on whether we'll see him in the second half of this game a little bit or not. But one thing that you have to do is you got to be able to find and build some confidence for the young. I mean, Donnie Bly is a true freshman, making his second start and trying to figure some things out. They've been having some problems on communication, on trying to line people, get themselves lined up in a way to be successful. But these are all things that happen with young teams. Another statistic that kind of stood out to me is 3 of 7 on third down is the Falcons on this one, converting third downs. And before we go over your keys and keys away they can get back in the second half, you had talked about sustaining drives. You had said stopping on third down and winning the turnover battle. Well, sustaining drives, there's no check there. Stopping and converting third down has been kind of a herky-jerk, so you can't get a check mark there. And then the last one was win the turnover battle. Unfortunately, you're not winning of those, and that's usually why the score is 29-0 as it stands right now. But those keys to the game is something that if they can change that around, they can get a chance to get back in the game, which I want you to discuss on the other side. But when you came up with those keys, you knew when you're coming into here against Heritage Hall, you know that you're playing a team that's going to be very disciplined. Now, in terms of overall penalties in the game, Myron, Millwood has 6 penalties for 45 yards, Heritage Hall 5 for 29. But those penalties for Millwood, those false starts penalties, the offsides, some of those other penalties have really stopped their drives and being able to build.
Yeah, and they also, trying to beat the play clock. A couple of those they didn't beat. And that's just giving away 5 yards. But again, you're dealing with some young guys, and it's not just the quarterback; it's the other guys that, I'm supposed to be on the other side, not this side. I mean, and I like watching the coaching staff. You can tell their frustration kind of building, but they also know they got some young guys that they got to be patient with or whatever. So, that last touchdown takes some starch out of it. But I'm sure if you're the coaching staff from Millwood, you're talking to them about not beating yourselves. We're going to get the ball here in the third quarter first and put those drives together, but don't have penalties that can short-circuit those drives.
I know it's been a difficult night here, but it's a difficult night in Stillwater this far. Tulsa's up on Oklahoma State 19-3. So it's a tough night. Can be a tough night. I'll get some more thoughts after that. We're going to take another timeout. We'll come back, and we'll get Myron's keys to the game or keys to things that need to happen if the Falcons want to, get back in the game. But they've got to put some points on the board, and I'll get Myron's thoughts on what kind of plays he would like to see to make that happen on the other side of this break. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Halftime Report, sponsored by Love Student of the Month, and also, of course, SSM Health. We'll be right back.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry. And do you know a student that would like to win a $10,000 scholarship? Yes, I said $10,000. Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores and Perry Publishing Broadcasting are giving a graduating senior from a Oklahoma City Metro school the opportunity to win $10,000 by just registering online. Each month during the school year, a Love Student of the Month will be selected for registration, and for winning, they will qualify for Love Student of the Year and a $10,000 scholarship. Oh, you guys, to get it, you got to register at www.kvsp.com, and that is www.kvsp.com. Go get your $10,000.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
But my first guest is, of course, brand new District Athletic Director Shane Sanders here with us. Shane, how you doing?
Doing fine, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
Good.
And, I'm glad that we're able to conversate because the news is out. You're the brand new athletic director. We've seen posts. We've seen, different articles and different things like that. Just talk about your journey to becoming athletic director and where is the focus for you?
Well, first of all, I just appreciate you having us. This is a blessing to be here during this time just to celebrate these young scholars. I won't take too long because this is their day, but I do want to share a little bit of my journey because they're the reason why I'm here. These young scholars that we're celebrating today. I'm a longtime educator, born and raised in Midwest City, Oklahoma, graduated from Millwood City High School, coached a plethora of sports over the span of 23 years. Had the privilege of playing on the last back-to-back state championship in football on the west side of the state. Go Bombers in 1994 and 95. Fell short to Jinx in 96. Not going to talk about that too much, but just athletics has been a huge part of my journey as a coach, whether it's a head coach or an assistant coach. I've learned from a lot of the greats, Brian Baverka of Millwood City High School, Gary Rose, Mike Corley at Carl Albert, and Mike Whaley at Westmore. I was on his staff as well. So just want to pay homage to that demonstration of leadership and what I learned from them young people, or those individuals, as I started to grow and mold my leadership skills. So just excited about it. And so I'm here, my second stint in Oklahoma City Public Schools. I've been an executive director over secondary schools, mainly the South Side. This last school year, I was an executive director over Douglas High School, the Douglas feeder pattern, and the U.S. Grant feeder pattern. The U.S. Grant's right around the corner right now, getting ready to do some interviews right behind me. So just excited to pour into these young people. And that was our goal. And when I sit and talk to Dr. Polk, she always talks about what we call the 3 E's: enrolled, enlisted, and employed. And that's our goal for these young people. And athletics plays a huge part of that because we're the hook.
Yes, it does.
Right? And so what better way to demonstrate them on a grand stage like this with the partnership we have with CBS Sports and Oklahoma City and Perry Broadcasting. Just excited about what the future holds for these young people with your partnership.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or any other use of the accounts, descriptions, or audiovisual elements of this broadcast without the express written consent of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved.
Welcome back. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton here at the Millwood Halftime Report, sponsored by SSM Health and Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, sponsoring Love Student of the Month. Tonight's game is brought to you by, of course, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, First Security Bank, Counseling Solutions and Interventions, Narissa Berry Insurance, Bank First, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Guiding Right, and the Black Chronicle newspaper, and Super Prep. Falcons are taking the field right now and looking at the individual performances, Myron. Donnie Blythe, 5 for 12, 26 yards, and an interception on the night. Anthony Keys, 12 carries, 42 yards. You made the mention about that. A majority of that took place really in the core of the second half. I'd say 7 minutes, the last 7 minutes of the second quarter. Then Carter Reid, 3 catches for 19 yards. Anthony Keys, 1 catch for 6 yards. And Marquise Vick, 1 catch for 1 yard. Myron, what on this opening series, the Falcons get the ball back. What do the Falcons, what kind of type of plays will help them get a good, sustain a drive, you think?
Well, they were able to run the football. I think the offensive line's got to be given some credit for that because early on they were struggling to block Heritage Hall up front. But whatever they changed, whether it was a blocking scheme or just playing better, you start there and see if you can get Anthony Keys going. I know they like to try to get him in space. They've not had any luck doing that, but get him going and then maybe see if you can get something in the passing game. They convert some big passes on third down. They've got to make this first drive count, make it mean something, because if you just go 3 and out, give the ball back to Heritage Hall, and say they go score something, I mean, you're in for a long second half. So this first drive is important just to kind of set a tone that, they're down 4 scores, but they haven't mailed it in.
No, you don't. To me, you have – this is what Coach Lincoln was talking about, body language. Can the team now focus, and really the score is 0-0. It's not about, again, district starts next week. Those are the games that matter. And I'm not saying that this game does not matter. It matters on a whole lot. But the point of the matter here is you want to make sure that you're taking the momentum from the second half of this game on into the next week. You don't want this taste to be the flavor that you have. And so you got to come out with some energy, get sharp, and get back in this game. I mean, there's still 24 minutes for the most part left in this game. And let's start off by getting some points on the board. It's about mentality. And this is how you have to galvanize a team into the level of a championship contender. You have to start there. You mentioned it. How many times? Every time we talked about it, Myron, sophomores and freshmen. You mentioned it more than once because that's who's making the plays. Now we've got to find a way for them now to start stepping up and making way. Because, I mean, you can only be young for so long. And then you're going to say 5 games in, okay, you by football years, you've classed up.
You can't keep making the same mistakes. I mean, and this is just game 2 for those guys. But, the first play of the game offensively, they fumbled, and it seemed like they spent much of the first half trying to fight back over that. And again, credit Heritage Hall, they're a really good team, well coached. I thought they came out pretty aggressive from a play calling standpoint to try to take advantage of the youth that Millwood has. It's worked.
You could say, for the exception of bringing the ball that was inside the 5-yard line out to the 13-yard line, the best unit in the game so far has been special teams. They covered the onside kick attempt. They've been putting themselves in a decent position, making those decisions. The punts have been overall good by Denver Young. So field position, they've done well. They've gotten some stops at some key moments. That's the key. It's not like Heritage Hall has scored on every possession, but those penalties has also been something that's loomed over their heads a lot.
Yeah, the timing of the penalties.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The numbers one thing, but when you get them and how they kept the drives alive, that's been a killer for Millwood and the coaching staff, and I'm sure they talked about that at halftime. You got a young quarterback. We'll see if they decide to go the entire second half with him, or if they, Denver Young plays it all in the second half at the quarterback position. But either way, they've got to be able to sustain something on offense, and find, of course, it starts up front by blocking the guys and everything else. But they've got some skilled guys, though they're young, that have the ability to make some plays for them.
Now, Myron, we've got a little bit of time before the second half begins. You told me earlier on Real Sports this afternoon you had Bill Hastings on. And Bill Hastings was kind of giving an idea of what was talking about what's going on at Oklahoma State. How bad is it going to get for Mike Gundy if he falls to Tulsa tonight?
boy, it's gonna get real bad. He was on at 3:30, and he was at the stadium already. He said there were no fans there, and didn't notice anybody tailgating, things of that nature. And I think, the last two games, the loss to Colorado last season, 52-0, and then of course the Oregon game, fan base is kind of disgruntled and wondering how the program get to this point so fast. You lose tonight, you're obviously not going to, give those guys a lot of hope or whatever. And he's talked about this before. He says he thinks this will be it for him this season. He says he could see him going to, get involved with television, ESPN, something like that. And of course, Mike has always been known for the last few years, and it's got him in trouble at different times to say some things. And of course, TV sometimes likes that. So, we'll see what happens. But they're trailing right now. That's not a good sign. You should be better than Tulsa. We've got a new coach, and I've heard good things about Trey Lamb. But yeah, I can only imagine what the fan base is thinking as if they go ahead and lose to Tulsa tonight with the Big 12 starting next week, Baylor to town, then you go to Arizona, Cincinnati, and so forth and so on.
Yeah, and then you're asking yourself, are they going to win any games? I mean, where do they find the wins? I mean, normally when we start off the schedule, we said, oh, this game's going to be tough. They're going to have to make some plays to this. I mean, that's what you do when you're a fan. But right now, to see them struggling, no knock against Tulsa, but Tulsa, Mike Gundy, I think he's never lost to Tulsa, correct?
No, I don't think so. No. I mean, Tulsa's got you got to be better than Tulsa. That's pretty much the standard. Or whatever, but a lot of new faces in Stillwater, transfer portal, and I mean, Mike's like a lot of coaches. We'll get back to this game, obviously, but all the changes in college football, he doesn't like that. A lot of coaches don't.
Right, and there are some who adapt, and there are some who struggle with adaptation in this situation. So 1st and 20 now. Kickoff goes into the end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons at this time. Ball spotted at the 20-yard line. And I'm surprised they're letting that ball sit in the end zone down there. That's usually something officials don't allow to happen here. 4 receivers. Inside slot comes in motion, and Carter Ray comes down with a nice kick-out block, but nothing is moving there, as obviously we'll see the adjustments that Brett Bogert has made and his defense has made as they shut the door on Anthony Keys. He's going to lose a yard right there, back to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, not a whole lot there. And, again, this is an important drive for them.
Yeah, to me, the mistake here, Myron, is 3 and out. You want to get at least a first down here.
Yeah, and of course, Heritage Hall, that's exactly what they want is 3 and out, get the ball back to their offense, and they think they can close the door real fast.
4 receivers now. Anthony Keys comes out in motion, and he's going to throw it. It's going to be a pick 6 into the end zone. Anthony Keys flanked out into the flats, and it's going to be intercepted by Boston Fuller, who read it all the way. They came down, stepped in front, and went into the end zone for a pick 6.
Yeah, he was under pressure. He got hit as he was throwing it. Heritage Hall brought pressure from the right side, and just one of those things. That's about the worst thing you'd want to how to start this half.
So the pick 6 ends up leading the score 35-0, 11:18 to go.
Yeah, and both times, I mean, the game started out offensively where they fumbled their first snap, second snap of the half here.
Okay, their kick is good, but there is a flag on the play. So we're going to see where this stands because everybody's clearing off the field, so it looks like it's against. Okay.
Personal foul against Millwood?
Yes. So that penalty will take place after the kickoff. So that had to be after the kick. So that means the penalty will now go against and put the ball likely kicking off from the Millwood 45-yard line, Myron.
Deep onside, maybe. I don't know. If he kicks off, he'll kick this off to 122nd.
Yes, he will. So they're marching, and it looks like they're going to kick the ball off from they're going to kick off from the Millwood 35?
I don't know. They haven't even got the ball yet. I'm not sure. He's standing at the 35, but.
Yeah, trying to figure this out. So, again, we have I want to say can I say a non.
How about an inexperienced crew?
An inexperienced crew that does not clearly indicate
what's going on.
What's going on. So typically teams kick off. So they're going to kick off from the 45. That's what from the Millwood 45-yard line.
Let's see how Heritage Hall chooses to handle this. They could, like I said, maybe kind of like that deep onside and see if they could pin Millwood deep.
Yeah, we're gonna see exactly how that. So they're gonna go. Carter Ray is deep for the Falcons here, and we're gonna go ahead and kick this ball away. 11:18 to go. 36-0 is the score. Kick goes into the end zone, and he actually put it through the uprights, and it brings the fans and the student section up for a cheer.
Yeah, it probably hit a car going down the street. I mean, that's
So the Falcons will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 from that spot. And to me, you know, that shows again some of the, because you mentioned it, that possibly Heritage Hall could consider going for an onside kick there, but you know, wisely or not, you know, or not.
You're up 36-0. Kick them out. Kick it out of the end zone and see if they can score. Your defense has played well. I guess you could say that.
3 receivers, twins to the left. They're going to hand the ball off to Anthony Keys. Keys dances in the middle, and nothing doing there for Keys. Maybe a gain of 1 out to the 21-yard line. So 36-0 is the score right now. 2nd down and 9 is what the Falcons are looking at. 10:55 to go in the 3rd.
And you got to see if you can play the game, not play the scoreboard.
Right. You have to reset in your mind and just execute the next play. 3 receivers, twins to the right. Ball snapped. Bly rolls to the right side, has a receiver open, throws it in double coverage. And that, again, that wasn't the best option. He rolled out trying to hit Kevon Shields, but that he was good bracket coverage on the backside of that Heritage Hall defense there.
Yeah, and you know, and if you're Brett Bogert, you want to see if your guys maintain focus as well. But yeah, he was well covered, and lucky that was out of bounds. Nobody could get an interception there because he threw, like you said, in the double coverage.
So now we got pistol formation now. 3 receivers, twins to the left. Donnie Bly looking, and before things get started, delay of game penalty against the Falcons here.
Delay of game penalty against Millwood.
That's going to move the ball inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. So 3rd down and about 14 yards to go. Falcons are coming set, but they're not clear on the call. 14 seconds on the play clock again. The Falcons show up, set up, 3 receivers, twins left, pistol formation, 7 seconds on the play clock. Anthony Keys flanks out. They're going to swing it to him, but the pass is low, pass is incomplete. Intended for Keys, but again, Myron, at this point, you know, throwing it at his feet, he can't quite make a catch off of that right now.
Yeah, if he caught it, he's already down because he's at his knees. And so the incompletion, of course, is 4th down now, but the completion wouldn't have done any good.
So 2 receivers, or 2, okay, that was, you heard the foot on that one, and it's going to take a Heritage Hall bounce, and it's going to be a pooch kick in this case. It's going to be out of bounds at about the Millwood 29-yard line.
I don't think he meant it as a pooch, though. I think he just missed it.
Well, you heard it when it hit the foot.
That side
That's
of the foot.
the side of the foot. It wasn't quite a shank, but it definitely was not. He might have caught it on the tip of the shoe.
Kind of like your golf game, shank.
Well, that's an interesting.
It's okay, man.
I really don't have that problem, Myron, because I haven't played golf, now if it was putt-putt, Myron, you might want to look out now.
I hear you shank on putt-putt too, man. That's what I heard. That's what people are saying.
Is that what people are saying?
People are saying.
Drink something out of that Dallas Cowboy Cup again and see if that don't help you. All right, going to work right now. Coming to the outside. Got to get the edge and still on his feet and run out of bounds. A nice run play there by number 19, Walker Weddle. So Benjamin Franklin on the stop for the Falcons as he takes the ball inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. It is a first down after a gain of 10 for Heritage Hall. 10:07 to go. We've got a bunch formation, 4 receivers out to the left. Going to hand the ball off. Again, trying to get to the edge. This time the Falcons cut him down for a short gain. The ball carrier on the play was number 23 on the carry. Gain of 3 down to the 16-yard line.
That's where you got to dig deep on defense.
Got to find a way to get a stop. So second down and 7. Ball is snapped. Going to swing it to the outside. Pass is complete. And a nice open field tackle that time. Multiple Falcon defenders on the stop, including Carter Ray on that play.
Yeah, you'll see who's still running to the football, who's still playing hard.
So Grizzard was also in on the stop. Pass play takes the ball back out to the 19-yard line. Loss of 3 on the play. So third down and 10. Heritage Hall comes out, 3 receivers, Twins right. Lawson looks over the defense. Correction, 4 receivers, trips to the right side. Receivers come in motion. Lawson rolls, looking, and is going to end up taking it. Good pursuit, nothing open deep. Coverage sack as the Falcon defense kept coming relentlessly. Nice job on the play by D'Angelo Robinson. Also on the play, Marquise Vick. So he's going to be dropped for a loss there. It's going to be considered what will be a sack by D'Angelo Robinson. The ball will be spotted at the 24-yard line, a loss of 5 on the play. Fourth down and 15, and they're going to allow Bo Butler to attempt a 45-yarder, Myron? Is that my math?
That'd be a 40.
A 40-yarder, okay.
That's that bear math you've been learning, see?
And he gets it through, or it's going to be far to the left. It was long enough, but it was not
off target.
Off target. So
wide left.
Wide left after it's said and done. So
you get a stop there.
So the Falcons will get the ball there at the 24-yard line. First and 10. So the Falcons back on the field. Nice job by the defense. 36-0 is the score. 7:54 to go. So 3 receivers right now. Twins left. Donnie Bly, the freshman quarterback. Carter Ray comes in motion. They fake the jet sweep and give the ball. And then helmet comes off on Anthony Keys. That's going to be a personal foul penalty when it's all said and done. Keys walks off, but he gets to stay in the game because he should be able to stay in the game because that was a head tackle all the way. So it's going to be a face mask penalty tacked onto the end of the run.
I guess they tell him he does have to come out for a play.
Personal foul, face mask against Heritage Hall.
takes the ball to the 38-yard line after Keys with the run of 2. Personal foul face mask penalty moves the ball out to the 38-yard line. So 1st and 10 Millwood from that spot. Going to swing the ball to the outside, and a big time hit in the open field there by number 40 for Heritage Hall. Was that number 20?
No, that's 40. As a big time form tackle there. He's going to hope they got that on the replay. We don't have a 40 on
the roster.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the end of the play there yields a 2-yard gain off the reception there. And up the middle, nice run again. Looks like that one was done by Denver Young on that one. That takes the ball out to the 44-yard line. Falcons need to get to the 49 for a first down. So now going to work, going to hand the ball off to Denver Young again, and the ball comes loose, and Heritage Hall says they have it.
That's because they do.
And they do. Denver Young fumbles the ball. Denver Young with the carry there. So 3rd down and 5 is what they were looking at. They give the ball to Denver Young again. He gets the ball out to what would have been the 47-yard line. And at the end of that, a fumble comes through. And it is recovered by Heritage Hall, 1st and 10 now from the Falcon 47 or 48-yard line.
Yeah, he coughed that one up. He had a couple yards there. A bad night continues.
36-0, 6:19 to go in the 3rd. 4 receivers split, spread formation, ball is snapped, going to swing it to the outside. And the pass play is caught there by Gerard Williams, who dances his way inside the 40 down to the 39, or make that the 38.
He's been kind of quiet since his one touchdown the first quarter.
So down to the 38-yard line. Ball is snapped. Loss is going to throw, and the pass is tipped. Good job on the defensive side of the ball there. Marcellus Grant Johnson, who was hovering around and made a nice play deflecting the ball. And sometime you would hope that a free safety or a safety possibly could catch that one, Myron.
Yeah, if he catches that one, he's going to walk into the end zone. And he knows it. He's upset at himself, but as it is, he did cause the incompletion.
We have a down Falcon at the moment right now. We're going to take a break and come back in just a moment. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you tonight by Love's Student of the Month, Counseling Solutions and Interventions, First Security Bank, and SSM Health at St. Anthony. We'll be right back. Back at Charger Stadium, Maurice Prince and Myron Patton on the call for you this evening. Heritage Hall in control of this one right now, 36-0 as it stands right now. Back to live action. The Chargers are staring down a 3rd down and 1. Ball spotted at the Falcon 38-yard line. Can the Falcons get a stop right here? Ball is snapped. Lawson drops back in the pocket. Going to throw the ball to the outside. And he just threw it out of the outreach hands of Gerard Williams. So 4th down on that play. Pass incomplete. So we're talking about a 4th down situation now, Myron.
Yeah, that was one of those, when they go deep, they knew they were going to go for it. It's only like 4th, and I don't even think it's a yard.
So right now, the Chargers are lining up to go for it here on 4th down. Ball is snapped, and they're going to hand the ball right up the middle, and space to operate there goes number 23. He's going to get enough for a Charger 1st down inside the Falcon 35. They're going to put him at the Falcon 32, Myron.
You almost popped that when Millwood kind of sent a little blitz, and once he got past the line of scrimmage, if he hadn't tripped up, he'd still be running.
So 1st and 10 Chargers from the Falcon 32. 4:36 to go in the 3rd. 4 receivers, bunch formation, tight on the left side. You're going to hand the ball off to number 23 again. He dances, finds a crease. He's still cutting back. Going to get the ball inside the 20-yard line, inside the 15. And it looks like he's going to be down at the 15-yard line. So another gain of 15, maybe 17 yards for another Charger 1st down.
Had some pretty good blocking up front for him to get around that left end.
Officials are calling for time now.
Guys getting some cramps out there now for Millwood. That's 2nd player.
And it's interesting. Cramps, people always associate cramps happening, in muggy conditions. But go ahead, Myron. You kicked the cup over. It can
but
go
I
ahead.
saved it. I saved it.
I mean, if the cup, based upon our position of where we are in the bleachers right here tonight, Myron, from our, in the stands booth, if the cup was to just roll a little bit more to the right there.
I saw you dive for it.
No. I was seeing that. I wanted to see how much of a fall it could take.
You got to treat it like a football, man. Loose ball. Dive on it.
Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yes, this is a football game, isn't it?
Okay, but see that cup can go. For everybody doesn't know.
Valuable.
If for anybody doesn't know, Myron Patton does not show regular fandom, but tonight he decided to bring a Dallas Cowboy drinking cup to the game.
It matched the shirt I got on.
And it really causes me emotional problems to see that. I'm just not happy about that situation. And of course, for everybody who does not know, I might be one of 2 of us here in the state of Oklahoma who are Chicago Bear fans.
There's actually 3.
There's 3.
Matt Tomlinson, for the media relations guy for the Thunder, is a huge Bears fan.
Okay. All right. So good that we were able to see D'Angelo Robinson pop up. So there's 3 of us in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We're growing. We're growing.
Didn't y'all have like a meeting and like you are president and
the Oklahoma chapter of the Chicago Bears?
Yeah.
Boy, it's going to be a small club.
Yeah. We're bringing the chips and dip.
If we could get a contingency of 20 in the state, I would be impressed. I really would be. Back to live action now. Ball is snapped, and they're going to hand the ball off again to number 23, and there's a flag that comes in at the conclusion of the play. It's in the area of holding, so it looks like it might be coming back. And judging how they're walking back, and we have a new quarterback in the game also for Heritage Hall. It is junior quarterback Hudson Ferris in the game, but Hudson did not move. Hudson basically said that this is coming back.
So he saw the holdings, what you're telling me.
He did.
He probably instructed it.
No, I doubt that. So a holding penalty against the offense.
Don't get caught, is what he said.
He could have said that too. 1st and 11 now. 3:59 to go. 36-0 is the score. Ball is snapping. Before things get going here, the officials are going to call false start against the Chargers.
Those officials are warming up, man. They getting those arms, flag and everything. Flag.
Well, we finally started to see it come into effect here. So 1st down and what will be 16 yards to go. The officials stop the clock. for time. And a substitution was made, and Falcons are going to have to bring back out Malachi Morris. Same personnel group on the field. So we have three receivers, twins to the right, shotgun formation for Ferris. Ferris has it. He's going to hand the ball off. Turning the corner, of course, is Barrett Travis. Travis is going to take the ball down inside the 15.
They have found something on that right side, Millwood's right, Heritage Hall's left, because they are running a lot to that side of the field.
So the ball is now spotted at the 16-yard line. So at the 16, yes it is. Second down and what will be 11 yards to go now. Four receivers split on either side, and before things get started, Terrence Johnson jumped. And right now, Myron, we're having some interesting sequence of plays here. I'll get five and give five back.
Yep, the officials they're going to get flag elbow for throwing so many flags.
That one, you know, some of them I could see when a game gets out of hand, you kind of let go, but that one you couldn't quite do that. Ball snapped. Ferris is going to throw it up. High arcing pass into the end zone. Pass incomplete, intended for Boston Fuller. So third down and 16, 3:24 to go. $36-0 is the score. Falcons need a stop here and need to get away to try and put some points on the board.
Well, it's third and about 2 miles for first down.
So we've got three receivers now. Going to hand the ball right up the middle. And nice running, even on one leg, goes Barrett Travis. Taking the ball down inside the 15, down to the 12. He was hopping along there for just a little bit.
Yes, he was. And are they going to kick a field goal? They're going to.
Down inside the 15, down to the 12-yard line. Three receivers. Twins to the right side. Ball is snapped. Going to throw the ball, corner route, and over the top, making a reception for the touchdown. What a catch by Boston Fuller. Going to that back pylon, and what a throw by Ferris.
Yeah, he's used his size. Well thrown ball. Basically, you give your receiver a chance to make a play on it, and it was kind of like a rebound. He just went over the top of the cornerback for the touchdown.
So 42-0 is the score right now. 2:33 to go. So Bo Butler to attempt the extra point now. 42-0 is the score. Trying to make the lead 43. And the kick is through the uprights. I didn't think he got all of it. Thought a Falcon defender might have gotten himself a hand on it. But the PAT is good, and the score is 43-0. We'll be right back. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by Love's Student of the Month, Counseling Solutions and Interventions, and SSM Health. We'll be right back. Well, as the song says, squabble up. I'm telling you right now, Heritage Hall is definitely doing that right now. 43-0 as it is right now. The Falcons need to find a way to generate some offense and build some confidence. As you said, next week's game begins district. So the first two games, no matter if they were 2-0 or 0-2, until they get to district is when the real football season goes. So this is a way to see, as you said earlier, Myron, to know where you're at and have an idea. And before things get started, we have a illegal procedure.
They got a flag on the kickoff.
Yeah, we have one in all. He should throw one up here on this cup that you keep holding. As many as they've thrown.
It's a loving cup, man. I love America's team.
Is that what that is?
I mean, you keep looking at it, so do you want it?
Well, no, I have no intention of wanting it.
Like
none of that. No. Please do not.
Put on your mantle and say, look at what I got.
Somebody would ask me, why do you have that?
Add a little class to your office or whatever, you know.
To my what?
Your office.
To my trash can? Yeah. You know, somebody goes, oh, somebody recognizes where that belongs. 43-0 is the score. And now, Bo Butler's going to go ahead and kick this away. Nice kick into the end zone for a touchback. Bo Butler will be kicking on somebody's team on Saturdays.
They got some pretty good kickers.
Go ahead, Myron. There's a trash can right there. You just go ahead and throw it in there.
Well, you know, if this was a jump shot, I think I could knock the bottom, but, you know.
Well, I guarantee you, whether it hits or not, it'll ricochet and shatter on the ground somewhere. That's fine with me. You don't have to hold it tighter, Myron. You know?
Make sure you don't take it. Like you got to take care of football.
Back to live action now. So if Donnie Bly is going to hand the ball off and trying to make something happen, dancing around, finding a crease to the outside and still on his feet, and is finally going to get cut down after a gain of 7 to 8 yards. Nice run there by Larry Grizzard. He showed us a little bit of left, right, a little shiftiness, hit the gear, and made something out of nothing, Myron, because many a times that initial back pedal was just not making you feel good.
Yeah, he started on the left side and ended up running on the right. Probably ran about 25 yards, but still shows good effort. And so keep playing, young man. Keep playing.
Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 3. Grizzard in the backfield with 3 receivers. And they're going to hand the ball off again. Grizzard protects the ball, takes a good shot on the play. Maybe a gain of 1 out to the 28-yard line, so a gain of 1 that time for Grizzard. So 3rd down and 2. 90 seconds to go in the 3rd. 19 seconds on the play clock.
32.
So 13 seconds as the Falcons come set. Ball is snapped. You're going to hand it to Grizzard. Grizzard puts his pads down and gets out to the 30-yard line, and it will be enough for a Falcon first down. Good job by Larry Grizzard. He said, I am going to get these 2 yards for the first down. Showing a little bit of his skill set. We know how valuable and how productive and how good Anthony Keys is. But when you're in a situation like this, you try a lot of different things to see if you can get somebody else's attention. So Anthony Keys is definitely in the game. He's just playing more of a receiver or a swing back, if you will, H-back in this offensive set. 3 receivers now. Anthony Keys comes in motion. They're going to give it to Anthony Keys on the jet sweep. Anthony Keys dances and tries to get out to the 35-yard line. They think they're going to stop him. And Keys is still up. He's still dancing. They did not stop his forward progression. Anthony Keys never stopped moving. It looked like a gain of 4, but Anthony Keys says, nah, I'm going to go into the power gear and takes it ahead for a gain of 8. What a run by Anthony Keys.
Well, he's got that low center of gravity, and so when you think you're hitting him low, you're hitting him in the chest. And he keeps those legs churning, and they never could get him down.
And that is the end of the third quarter. We'll come back in just a moment. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by Counseling Solutions and Interventions, SSM Health at St. Anthony, and of course, Guiding Right. We'll be right back. And the final 12 is on the frame, Myron. 1 quarter to go. Falcons are in possession of the ball, staring down a 2nd down and 2. Their ball is at their own 38-yard line. String together some first downs. And to me, it's about the respect. It's about the pride. You want to put some points on the board and take that with you into next week.
Yeah, you want to get on the scoreboard desperately to kind of build on for next week when district play starts. And got a little drive going here to see what they do.
And Grizzard still chomping away and is going to get a Falcon first down beyond the 40-yard line. Going to take the ball out to about the 43. First down, Millwood. But we're finding a 1-2 punch here from Larry Grizzard because Anthony Keys is still on the field. And the good thing about that is, Myron, it's making the defense you have to account for Anthony Keys. That's something you have to do. But when you can throw a Larry Grizzard out there and give him something else to look at, it gives you another wrinkle in the offense that may help settle down your offense a little bit.
Yeah, open up some room for you, and he's benefited from that. So see if they can keep it going.
3 receivers, twins to the right. Grizzard has it, finds a crease, hits the greets, hits the Jets, takes the ball across midfield down to the 45-yard line.
That may have been the biggest hole I've seen all night. Nice big hole there on the right side of the line.
So Larry Grizzard with a nice run there. So that was, you're talking about plays here, a gain of 12 yards on the play. So going to work now, 3 receivers now. Twins to the right. Anthony Keys is in the slot. 6 seconds on the play clock. They got to get the play off. Anthony Keys comes in motion, and they're going to give it to Grizzard again. Grizzard finds another crease, cuts back inside. What a brilliant one cut, and he's fighting inside the 30-yard line. And giving the Falcon faithful that are still here something to cheer about as he takes the ball down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
He's given some juice they haven't had all night, man. That's 2 really good runs, and things have really opened up in the running game. He's a missed tackle away from breaking that and getting to the end zone.
A gain of 16 on that last play for Grizzard. He gets back in the backfield now. 3 receivers, twins to the right. 9:43 to go in this game. Going to hand the ball off to Anthony Keys this time. Keys cuts back. Keys spins and gets the ball down inside the 35-yard line, down to the 34. Make that the 24, not the 34.
Grizzard, just a sophomore again. Bunch of young guys on this team, and He's definitely added some juice here in this second half, in this fourth quarter.
Second down and 5. 9:09 to go. 43-0 is the score. 3 receivers, twins to the right. Grizzard in shotgun formation. And Grizzard is met at the mount. Blasting through on a linebacker blitz right up the middle. Carter Knowles made himself known on that one and tags Grizzard. Right back for a loss of almost 5, a loss of 4 on the play.
6'2", 194-pound senior Carter Knowles says, I'm closing the door on your success, at least on this play.
So Grizzard on that one gets bounced back to the 29-yard line.
Okay, this clock is running down.
So 8:19 to go. Ball is snapped. And going to fling it across the middle, and Carter Ray can't hold on to it. Pass is incomplete.
Little slant incomplete, 4th and 9. They'll obviously go for it.
So 4th down and 9, you're definitely going to go for it here, as you just said, Myron. Going to work right now. 4 receivers now. Ball is snapped. Bly rolls, has some space. Going to fling the ball into the end zone. Tries to hit Anthony Keys, and just out of his reach into the end zone. So turnover on downs.
The wheel route to Keys. He had stepped out of bounds. Got back in bounds, didn't matter because the pass was overthrown. But
so 1st and 10, Heritage Hall. 7:16 left to go in this game right now. A stop at action right now. So there was a lot of good things on that play, and really the drive came to a halt on that missed pickup blitz in which Carter Knowles stepped in and really laid a good one on of course, Grizzard. And I want to say this, Grizzard was definitely grizzy on that last drive. When you start talking about players and how they have impacts on the game, Grizzard ran 7 times in that possession for 38 yards. Myron, I mean, that's almost a little bit more than 5 yards a carry overall in that, and that's impressive for that. I mean, that's something, if you're the Falcon coaches, this is why you're still playing the game. Everybody wants to know, don't they run the clock in situations like this? Don't they do things like that? Well, if you're trying to get as many reps to get your team better, then this is the game that if you're Millwood, you're still trying to build. You're trying to find some more pieces. You want to find out who still got some fight in them, because this is where you're going into district games next week, which really matter the course of this season.
Yeah, that's something you take into next week with you. And
high snap, nobody's on it. Falcons are going to get back there and bring down the quarterback for a major loss. It was a high snap, and he tried to corral it and then put it in the belly of the running back, but he was not able to do so. So that loss now is going to go down as a sack back inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. A loss of 12 on the play, Myron.
Yeah, high snap. Kind of got away from where you love Millwood Bay to pick that up and run it in.
So 2nd down and 22 now. 4 receivers, trips to the right side. Ball is snapped. And going to fling the ball out into the flats. A flag comes in as the pass is complete. We'll have to see the result of the flag. And we're getting a chance to see the 3rd-string quarterback that's in the game. This is Kennan Bronson that's in the game now. So Ferris came in through a beautiful touchdown pass, and we saw a lot tonight of course, the Heritage Hall starting quarterback, Tegan Lawson, who was pretty good in his own right. So a holding penalty now against Heritage Hall. And that penalty is going to move the ball inside the 10 down to the 9. So Heritage Hall giving up a lot of real estate on this drive. Second down and what will be 30 yards to go.
Got to get to the 38 for a first down.
So 4 receivers, bunch formation off to the left. And in the backfield, the Falcons get to the ball carrier and bring him down inside the 5 or at the 5. Heritage Hall spending a lot of time going in reverse on this particular possession. I'm sure this is a little bit deeper in their roster.
Yeah, everybody's getting to play in this one. That's what you want if you've got a big lead like this, Heritage Hall.
So third down and 34. Now, if there is a mixed cue, standing in the basically toe in the end zone, and they're going to hand the ball off. No, it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and he gets out to the 6-yard line for a gain of 1. So now it will be 4th down and 33.
Nice form tackle by Johnson there.
4th down and 33. Under 4 minutes, it will be under 4 minutes to go when this play. So it's at 3:59 now. So standing in the end zone, and Anthony Key standing at the 45-yard line. Kick is away. It's going to take a bounce, and it's going to be covered and down at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Millwood from that spot. Good kick out of the end zone.
Let's see if they get Grizzard back out there, see if he can continue his success rushing the football.
Right. I mean, that was one of the positive sides. And again, you want to know where opportunities lies. 3:34 left in this game, and if you're Millwood, if you can score here, if you can put some points up within the last 3 minutes of this game, good things. You set yourself up for a positive end of the game in spite of the score, and some, well, I won't say positive. How about positive momentum going into next week's game? Let's use a better word there. Because, 43-0 right now, coming off of a tough loss against Soul Bowl right now, you want this young team to feel good and find some positivity to take as you get deeper into the season. And you got some tough games on the schedule, which we will talk about upcoming for Millwood. Now for all those Falcon fans who are out there listening on the radio, and those who are watching, of course, tonight on PPBC TV, just to let you know, next week is homecoming as the Blackwell Maroons will be coming to LW Good next week, coming to the Good House, looking for some action next week. Anthony Keys remains the receiver, and Grizzard is in the backfield, and this time they're going to give it to Grizzard again. Grizzard finds a crease. Grizzard makes another man miss, cuts to the outside, and gets the ball down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 5 on the play for Grizzard. 2nd down and 5.
He's finding success, man. They got to get him some carries next week.
2nd down and 15. When you're looking for wrinkles of how you can find some things, these are some good situations right now. So now you have 4 receivers now. Ball is snapped, and they're going to hand the ball off to Grizzard. Grizzard makes 1, 2, miss. And Grizzard's quick step takes the ball inside the 35 down to the 31-yard line. 1st down Millwood. Larry Grizzard on a mission right now. There's sometimes the broadcaster, I just want to say this because, Myron, I don't know your music paralysis, but he's kind of getting grizzy with it instead of getting jiggy with it. I mean, he's getting grizzy with it. I mean, it's right there.
It's right there?
It's right there. I mean, I know it's got a big bowl of cheese when I said that. Carter Ray gets it flung out there, and Carter Ray makes a man miss. He's at the 20, at the 15, 10, 5, makes a man miss into the end zone. Touchdown, Millwood.
He's got some playmaking ability to him. He's just a sophomore as well. Yeah, he's had a big touchdown last week in the Soul Bowl against Douglas.
So that was a nice job overall. So you get that into the end zone, then a 31-yard touchdown pass to Carter Ray into the end zone for the touchdown. So 43-6. And Denver Young gets it and has to pick it up, but no one was aware of what took place, so the PAT attempt is no good. So it's 43-6. And that might be the final series of the night as the clock is under 50.
I think the stop button got jammed.
Okay, so Coach Franklin is having a discussion with the head official out there. .33 seconds left. A reminder coming up immediately after this is the Counseling Solutions and Interventions and SSM Health post-game show. 18 seconds left, and that will be the final play of the night. And if you're Falcons, you have something positive to build off of going into next week, but we'll discuss that and much, much more. As the final of this score tonight, 43-6, Heritage Hall emerges victorious. So when we get back, we're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll get to the post-game show. That's coming up right after this. You're listening to Millwood Falcon Football, brought to you by SSM Health, First Security Bank, Love Student of the Month, and Counseling Solutions and Interventions.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or any other use of the accounts, descriptions, or audiovisual elements of this broadcast without the express written consent of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved.
And it's Friday night, and the Heritage Hall Chargers have defeated the Millwood Falcons 43-6. Maurice Prince and Myron Patton here for the Counseling Solutions and Interventions and SSM Health post-game show, where we will pick the Super Prep player of the game. when it's all said and done. But Myron, your general thoughts about the game we just saw as the Falcons were able to end with some positive momentum, getting that last score on the play, Carter Ray making a man miss. It was a great play. He had to make a man miss and then used his athleticism and found his way and ran all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, it was a good play on his part. He's got some playmaking ability to him. Again, another one of those sophomores we talk about, or freshman in the case of the quarterback tonight, Donnie Bly. But it was good to see them get on the scoreboard. You combine that with Grizzard's running there in the fourth quarter as well. Now, granted, Heritage Hall's got some reserves in there, but still he had success doing some things and making some things happen. And so that's something they can build on as they get ready for the rest of the season, which, of course, is district play starting next week.
So the Falcons will finish tonight with 187 yards, 129 yards on the ground, which you can definitely find a way to build something off of, Myron, when you start talking about, players and everything else. And you're looking at it to Heritage Hall finishing the night with 258 yards rushing. 258 yards in the game, 199 yards through the air, and 59 yards on the ground, 258 when it's all said and done. But Millwood will have something to talk about when you talk about the 129 yards rushing. Larry Grizzard finished with 9 carries for 62 yards. Anthony Keys finished with 17 carries for 57 yards. Donnie Bly ended up going 7 of 19 for 58 yards, a touchdown. But those 2 interceptions will be something that you'll have to look at a little bit there for him. Carter Ray, 4 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Anthony Keys, 2 catches for 7 yards and a touchdown. And Marquise Vick also getting to the scoring column of the overall statistics. As it also looks down to here, now we'll have to take a different look at the statistics and a deeper look. Falcons to see how the offense yards change from the first half to the second half. But what we do know here is that the Falcons finished 4 of 12 on third downs tonight. The 7 penalties came in the first half at some more difficult moments that slowed them down. 7 penalties for 50 yards overall on the night. But the 2 fumbles lost and the 2 interceptions, 4 turnovers tonight overall. And you look at the score, and then it also makes sense to you how we got to this place.
Yeah, and the night to start off, well, actually good because you made them punt on their first possession, but then your first offensive play, you fumble and give them great field position. They go ahead and score. I'm not saying they would have won the game had they not done that, but things like that. The open up the second half, your second play of the game, it's a pick 6. Things like against a really good football team, you don't really give yourself a chance to win the game. But these are also some learning experience for these young guys out here that have got some skill level, but they've got to develop. You just kind of look at some of the players at Heritage Hall, like Gerard Williams, I guess. Those guys, you can tell they've been in the program a couple years at Heritage Hall. They look a bit more physically mature, things of that nature. But let's see what happens starting next week with district play. And that's where you make your hay in terms of getting ready for trying to make the playoffs and, of course, making a run to getting state contention. But I know they're disappointed overall, but you got to take the positive and you got to get back to work, because that's the only way things get better is you keep working and keep pushing to get better.
So Heritage Hall improves to 2-1. They will go on the road next week to take on North Rock Creek as district play begins for almost all schools next week as they move into that. As Millwood will have homecoming back at the Good House next week as they take on Blackwell. Millwood falls, of course, to 0-2, and they really need to get right because the games that's going to really matter to them in district goes like this. And they have the rubber meets the road quickly. Blackwell, Jones, OCS, then at Mount St. Mary's, at Chisholm, at Crooked Oak, back at home, which is the final home game of the season, which is the week of Halloween, and the end of the regular season is on the road at Perry. So if you're Millwood right now, winning district is the most important thing, and so you've got to get some things together and make sure that you have everything ready to play, because the Jones Longhorns will be ready for you next week in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they're always good out there. They always find a quarterback and have a pretty good system out there, and they'll look at this score if you're Jones and the rest of the folks in district and say, hey, Millwood is beatable. They don't say this might be the year we can get them. So They'll look at that 0-2 start, and so if this is part of being who you are. There's nobody going to feel sorry for you. Nobody going to say, "Oh, poor Millwood."
Right.
That ain't happening.
That's not going to happen. So if you had to do a Super Prep player of the game, who would it be?
For Millwood or for I think you'd probably Grizzard.
No, okay, so yeah. So Grizzard ends up being the Super Prep player of the game. He showed some definite stats on the night. Larry Grizzard ended up finishing the game overall with 9 carries for 62 yards, and all of that coming in the second half of this game. Want to make sure we thank all our sponsors for tonight's broadcast: SSM Health at St. Anthony, Love Student of the Month, Community Health Centers of Oklahoma, First Security Bank, Counseling Solutions and Interventions, Narissa Berry Insurance, Bank First, Big O's Pork and Dreams, Guiding Right, Heart and Soul 92.1 and 1140, the Black Chronicle newspaper, Power 103.5, Super Prep, and OKC Sports Radio 105.3. This guy right here is a Hall of Famer. His name is Myron Patton, and I've enjoyed broadcasting this game with him. He'll come back and do it again as we'll come back for homecoming next week, Myron.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
Go back home.
Yeah, go back home at the Good. We'll be up there.
I like that, at the Good.
At the Good, yeah, that's what it's going to be. I'm Maurice Prince. I want to thank our on-site producers, that is D. Prince on the production side here, cameraman Deshaun Birch, and on-studio producer on the radio side is none other than DG, Daddy Gold, in the building. You guys have a great ending to your Friday night. Good football. And as we get out of here tonight, just one more thing before we sign off, for those who was concerned. This was a few minutes ago, but with 6:03 to go in the game a little while ago, with 3:27 left to go, Oklahoma State has the ball down 19-12 with 3:27 to go in the fourth quarter. Regardless of the outcome of that one, Myron, fans are not going to be happy with that.
No, they're not. I'm recording it at home. I'll watch when I get to the house and
see exactly what happened.
What happened, yes.
All right, guys, enjoy your sports weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Again, pregame starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock right here on Heart and Soul 92.1 and on PPBC TV. Guys, have a good night. Thank you.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or any other use of the accounts, descriptions, or audiovisual elements of this broadcast without the express written consent of Perry Publishing and Broadcasting Company is strictly prohibited. All rights reserved.